I'm gonna have to.
Go ahead.
Oh shit, you already did it. I still need
Oh,
to go grab some coffee and then turn down some
so now let me.
tabs and stuff. Just give me a second. Go ahead and just, do your thing real quick.
Oh yeah. All right. What up, YouTube? This your boy No Filter, hitting you guys again with another stream today. This supposed to be a video, but I decided to do stream instead because I feel like this topic will be interesting because I've been watching, I've been reading a lot of articles outside of I've been watching not just MGTOW videos, but I've been watching a lot of videos. I've been reading a lot of articles on MGTOW lately. With the Vice article, and that y'all guys know how I felt about them, and you guys watched that. You gotta go to my previous streams, watch my rant about that piece of shit article and everything. But this your boy No Filter right here with the Misanthropics one, MA. So this topic right here is something for me I feel like I always wanted to address and get down to the grounds of it. And this is talking about dating and relationships. Now, and as you know, in the MGTOW community, dating and relationships overall, everybody has this mindset: dating and relationships are a waste of fucking time. But I want to talk about that, but I want to go into the in-depth of relationships and why relationships in modern day society does not work, and the dangers of it. Not just the dangers of modern day relationships, but I like to call, how can I say this? I'm not intellectual. How can I truly break this shit down? I mean, you there?
Yeah, I'm here, man.
Okay, yeah. I'm doing this thing here. How basically how relationships are basically like a fucking, what you call it, it's like a dog. It's like it's like females don't view men as humans, they treat men as dogs, how they neuter them, and how men, it's I know staying free mental, I have addressed many times about like masculinity. When a man enters a relationship, they trying to take it's like it sucks the life out of a man. So it talks about the negatives of not how can I fucking say this about relationships. It talks about basically the dangers of relationships and dating, and how dating nowadays have changed from the times when it first started, where it was old school and all this other shit, and dating nowadays in 21st century, dating women back then and women today, and how really dating really has always been fucked up, has always been one of those things. But dating nowadays, dating modern day women in America is like a fucking wheel of fortune, man. You spin the wheel, you might win $1 million. You spin the wheel, you might win $100. So it's like a damn near damn if you do, damn if you don't policy. Plus, it's always
what's the $1 million look like?
Yeah.
Yo, hold up. What's the $1 million look like?
I'm not good at analogies. I'm just gonna use this as a knowledge, right? It's like when the game, it's like the game shows tell you, all right, he says you spin the wheel, and if you win, you spin the wheel, and it lands on $1 million, right? It's like the Wheel of Fortune, right? I'm use this analogy with the Wheel of Fortune, right? You see the contestant, he spins the wheel for like. He spins the wheel, and the wheel lands on $1 million, right? And it says you spin the wheel again, and instead of him getting $100 million, but that $1 million, it ends up lands on $100 instead. So he goes down to a million difference to $100, and he's like, what the fuck, man? So basically what this talk about, and I really want to talk about it because I know a lot of MGTOWs, we discuss about dating and relationships, a waste of time, but I know you probably more informed me because I only had a couple of relationships in my lifetime, but I'm pretty sure you've been there before, and but like talks about dating nowadays in modern times, and why like dating nowadays, especially if you MGTOW. You know what I'm saying? Dating nowadays is like fucking tough as fucking hell. It's kind of always, you got so much shit going on in society. It's constantly trying to tell you what his masculinity is, and a real man does this, a real man does that, and it's like it misconstrued it. And the reason why I want to address this topic too, because I know a lot of times we address it and we talk about it like how toxic and female women are, but it's like it's not just going deep in female behavior, but society stands for, and how society expectations on men, when a man, like society constantly tell men, you gotta be a fucking utility, you gotta sacrifice everything, you gotta fucking work when you get married. I'm just using it as a prime example, guys, before we get to the stream of it. But like the whole point of like when the guy gets married, he gotta have he gets the wife, He get the kid. He working 24 to 48 hours a day out of a whole week to provide for his family, for what provide for his wife and his kids. And basically saying is that why the man is doing that shit, the female don't have to do a goddamn thing. She don't have to give him no sex for 2 years straight, and she end up ruining his life in divorce. She cheats on him, and he's able to scumbag because he decided to step outside the relationship. But it really talks about basically how society manipulates men and try to tell men that getting in relationships really is to benefit them. But you really think about it, more men would get more shit done if we were so focused on dating and shit like that. So basically, MA, what's your thoughts on it? So I want to get your take on it, man.
Well, I mean, even in the blue pill world, there's sometimes it's talked about, and it's usually talked about in the context of a man or a woman exiting a relationship. And so, someone close to him, usually a family member or a friend, will be like, "Yo, uh, be single for a while, pick yourself back up, do this, that, and the third." And what they're really in a really layman kind of terms, what they're trying to tell you is like, all right, this relationship probably bummed you out, did damage to you, whatever. May have fucked up your life in this way or that. However, use this as an opportunity to stay the fuck out of a relationship for a while, build yourself back up or whatever. So even in the blue pill world, this phenomenon of not going from one thing to another, the serial monogamy.
Yeah.
There's an idea of it. I don't think it's fleshed out very well. It's not fleshed out. That's why something like MGTOW could step in.
I mean, but like go back to what you were saying before. Like, I think that we really need to in depth and really discuss this topic, because for 1 second about relationships, this reason why I'm doing this topic here, because I know there's a lot of MGTOWs, like Angry MGTOW. He condone pump and dump and strippers, and I don't condone that mentality, because that shit plays into that blue pill mentality that we trying to get away from, But it's like I'm saying, like my thing about this has always been, for me, this topic has always been one of those conversations. I was constantly get asked this question when I'm gonna get a girlfriend, and I always wanted to discuss this topic and do it in a stream form. So, but from the reason why I'm bringing it up, because to me, I feel like dating nowadays is like, this is how Jenny feel about dating back in the day. When I was a blue pill simp, and I didn't see it at the time. I didn't see the bullshit. I didn't see how fucked up dating was back in the day, but I didn't see it for what it was, because I was so much of the blue pill mindset. I was like, man, nothing can do no wrong, and females this, and the females are the greatest thing ever, and all this other crazy shit. But it was like I was thinking about this topic, and I was like, you know what? I was talking about dating, and like one thing I've noticed about dating nowadays, and the reason why I'm bringing this topic up is because women, like, I talk about the standards for men nowadays. I'm talking about like how society holds men to a standard that is unrealistic in a way. Like, yeah, like society wants us to be the men. They don't want us. Like, here's the thing. This the reason why I say dating's a waste of time in my period. This is why I don't do it. It's the game you play. What's the thing? What's the situation like when women always say, like, why do men play games? Because you play games. If you didn't play the games, get to the fucking point and just tell us what the fuck you want. You just want the motherfucking money.
Check it. Let's make it more pragmatic. Let's introduce something that anybody who may be listening to it this now, or actually, hold up, let me back up. Is my mic all right to you?
Yeah.
And also back to the room, because they mentioned it was whack. So
your mic is kind of coming in and out. Your mic is coming kind of coming in and out.
let me see if I can correct that real quick.
Let me check the chat. Let me check the chat to this thing for a second. Mic working? All right. Well, I'll wait for him. I'm gonna continue this conversation. I'm waiting for them to come back. Basically, this topic right here is very important, because I feel like dating, to me, the reason why I don't date, and I got many reasons why I don't date, besides me dealing with depression and shit like that, and me adding a woman into my life, I'm point in my life, my time period now, won't fucking help. But the reason why I want this topic to be discussed for me, because I want guys to understand that dating nowadays, when you decide to do it, it's a high fucking risk. Now, the reason, MA, whatever, or whatever. What is it? basically it's like this, man. Dating nowadays, if you go and do it at your own risk. And I don't condone dating. To me in general, I just think, like Stan Free said, relationship with any female is kind of dangerous. So like if you're gonna do this shit, roll the dice. I mean, I say do it at your own fucking risk and take a gamble. But the reason why I want to talk about this topic because a lot of times we live in this blue pill world, in this gangster society. We constantly tell men, men are constantly, you see celebrities, rappers, entertainers constantly get fucking married, and then a year later, 2 years later into the marriage, they get divorced and all the other crazy shit. Or you see a lot of men going through all kinds of foul, fucked up shit. The dude, get another. He's dating another chick. He had a baby with the previous chick, so she's taking his ass to court for child support. And it's like basically a lot of this shit that goes on. It's like, yo, like if I was a betting man, they told me 80% chance. It was 80% chance of the relationship that this relationship might fucking fail. I'm not gonna fucking roll the dice and be like, you know what? I'm gonna take those odds and just roll and take that gamble and roll with it. No, it's not. And it's a dangerous fucking mindset to have because a lot of people don't realize when you're, what I'm saying, when you're dating, it's like rolling the motherfucking dice. You know what the fuck you gonna get, and that's the reason why I say, for me, and I'm gonna fucking use this as a prime example. Like that's why I say for guys, when I hear guys constantly say this all the fucking time, guys get in relationships and they be like, man, man, I found the perfect girl, man. I found my girl ain't like that, my girl ain't like that. You can't judge the first a relationship in 6 months. Because like like a chameleon, there's like these women gonna put on a front to pretend like they fucking on the wall. What happens? But what end up fucking happens in the process is that these females eventually show up. If you get down, if you ever decide to get, if the man ever decides to get down on one knee and get engaged or whatever and get married, and then he's planning the wedding and the woman showing no true colors, it's like, nah, man. The signs are fucking there, dog. The signs are fucking there. And the reason why I want to do this stuff because I want to engage brothers. I want to enlighten a lot of brothers that, yo, beware of dating, dog. Like, to me, I say don't do it because to me, I feel like you can get more shit done. And plus, I mean, you can't really focus on yourself. You got a person around you, especially if you got a fucking person around you constantly trying to do whatever. M.A., you there? M.A.? Shit. All right, cool. Basically, let me see how can I wing this in? Basically, I just say this, man. This is what I basically say, man. Dating for me in my time period, I turned 29 this year. Dating for me in my time, dating for me is is kind of dangerous on my time period. Because if y'all know about me, what you call it? I talked about I talked about my depression and major depression and stuff like that, constantly with depression being a daily battle for me. So for me, at this point in my time in my life, me and the woman into my life and relationships. But the reason why I feel like I want guys to talk about this topic really more than not just to talk about the points we already hammered home in the MGTOW, like women are toxic and they need to stay away from these motherfuckers that got on citric. All these laws got on citric and women not women nowadays. But I feel like it's important that these guys pay attention to the signs of there. I think for me, I know there's a lot of MGTOW. There's some MGTOWs out there. There's some MGTOWs out there who advocate pump and dump and all of the crazy shit. But even I'm learning, even with when it comes to dating relationship, with I use this. I mean, we use this as a point to be, I like to show. I don't like to show I'm intelligent here, but like watching porn. You know what I'm saying? You watching porn, even if you're not fucking committing the act, even watching porn, it kind of makes you think about want to have sex. So I think it's a tricky slope that we go down a lot of times that we don't want to. It's a tricky slope that we go down. A lot of the times as men, we don't truly think about how situation for me. And I know a lot of times people think, well, how can you be watching porn? How can you watch porn? How can you watch porn and porn can stimulate the mind? Because my porn is a stimulating thing. It stimulates the brain cell. And basically what stimulates that brain cell is a visual medium. It's like anything you see on television. It's a visual medium. It's like I'm using this, I use this analogy as prime examples. Like it's like when you watch a certain commercial and they showing the diamonds in the watch, you can be like, wow, I want that fucking watch. The same thing with women. It's the same thing with women. And same thing with pornography. Even though I watch it myself, I need to fucking dial that shit back. That I feel like sometimes it creates a problem that should not fucking be there. And the problem, the hardest part about the problem is not the hardest part about the problem. The hardest part about the hardest this is the hardest part. The hardest part about it dating and relationships is that the games that women play is the shit you gotta go through, the constant shit test. You gotta fucking, it's like it's like fucking having a fucking baby. But instead of this baby, this baby being walk around and just being sweet and innocent, it's like taking care of a grown ass adult. It's like a grown ass motherfucking baby. They can take care of a damn self. You gotta constantly take it out. You gotta take it to the movies. You gotta plan shit out. I mean, it's a lot of shit that goes into relationships that is so fucking dangerous that if we don't fucking as men, and this is the reason why I advocate. This is why I tell guys all the fucking time. If you a dude, you coming off divorce, you coming off a bad breakup, man, give yourself a year, 2 years, 2.5. I mean, give however long it takes to build yourself up. Because one, here's the thing to me, in my honest opinion, I'm not here to tell somebody what they need to do with their lives, because each and every person finds MGTOW on a different level. But the reason why I'm MGTOW, and the reason why I'm MGTOW to me, because I realized, and it goes back to my dating experience when I was 14 years old. I realized that having a girlfriend back then was bullshit, because I realized that having a woman in my life, like, I'm just having a girlfriend in my life because I'm told to do it, or is the society norm. And that's one thing I love about MGTOW, is that with MGTOW, you can do so much. You can focus on yourself. You can do the things you want to do. And I think dating, to me, in my opinion, is so waste of time. It's like all that money you spending on dates, all that time you buying her gifts and shit. Valentine's Day come around, even though you buy her, even though you got men buying their girlfriend, they buying their girlfriend's gifts year round. But when it's time for Valentine's Day and all this other shit, all this simp ass blue pill bullshit going on in the world, that we gotta fucking simp up. A lot of these dudes be simping, sitting there buying females engagement rings and deserve half the shit, and you be like, what the fuck is going on? It's like, I'm like, I feel like sometimes, like, when I'm out in the blue pill world, sometimes I feel like staying free MGTOW and be like, you know what, I see so much blue pill shit going on, men cuffing these hoes and all this other crazy shit, and you're like, man, what the fuck is going on, man? It's like, and this reason why I say that, being a loner, like, the one thing about me as an adult, like me growing, like me as an adult, one thing I sincerely learned about being, like, one thing I sincerely learned about being a loner is that I can embrace being with myself. And the reason why I want to bring this topic up too, because it's so fucking sad when I hear guys say, man, even that cuck, I'll call him a cuck now, because I fuck Bill Burr, I can't stand that dude now, but Bill Burr, before he got married, he was talking about how marriage was all fucked up, and he ended up getting married to that fucking cunt of a wife. But it's like my problem with this shit is, like, men nowadays. It's like, I don't know what it is about men when they get older and they get to a certain age of their career, their life, and they be like, well, I don't want to die alone. I'm like, dude, we all die alone. It sounds fucked up. We all die alone. It's like she gonna be doing all what she gonna do. She gonna go off, live her life how she want to live, whether you here or not. So it's like, the problem is, I want to get men out of that mindset of, look, I gotta have women in my life, because guess what fucking happened, fellas? She gonna get up and leave. One day she gonna get up and leave, and when she get up and leave, you just gonna have you and yourself. You living in a house or apartment, and she can get up and leave. She can walk outside. She can walk up. She can walk up and walking out of your life, and you as a man gonna have that time to self-reflect. And for me, I want a lot of MGTOWs to understand the fact that when you're dating, I mean, I don't date, but if you are doing that shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, my thing is, try not to have no emotions involved. Because to me, one thing I learned, being 14 years old, being a young my need teacher, blue pill motherfucker, I was a blue pill dude. And when I was so blue pill, I was so enamored with my girlfriend. I mean, it would be times where she would call me every fucking damn day, calling me what the fuck I'm doing. Like, and it's like, even though I was a fucking preteen, which is what, 14 through 14, whatever, was preteen age, 14, 15, whatever, which is pre-teenagers, I learned something throughout. I learned something throughout. I learned something throughout it, and I had to really figure this shit out. Like, man, you know what? I'm not finna fucking deal with this shit no more. This pure bullshit. And I really had to really figure this shit out, because to me, I learned dating a while back. I mean, I knew the red flags. I saw the red flags. I saw the downside of dating years back, even when I was a young lad. So I think that the reason why I want guys to understand, to me, dating is bigger than just taking women out. Dating is just, there's more to fucking dating. There's more to like, it's like, I feel like dating nowadays is like a fucking job interview. Like, you know what I'm saying? You constantly gotta fucking take this girl out to dinner. You constantly gotta fucking prove yourself. Never mind the fact that never mind the fact that you spent you can spend 4 to 5 years with one chick, and like you're faithful and committed. And the one thing I fucking hate, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys in the chat can fucking relate to, is like, have you ever been in a chick with a car before, and you driving in the car, or you driving her car, she driving your car, whatever, and you sitting there. And it's like I see my friends go through this shit all the fucking time. And I'm like, I don't see how they go through this shit. And like the girl pop up and he's sitting there driving in the car, and she sit there. She said, we need to talk. And then he's like, well, the guy's like, well, what do we need to talk about? What is it? Well, we need to talk about what you did. And it's like, and she was like, he's like, what I did? You know what you did? And he was like, well, what did I do? I don't want to talk about it. And she brings that shit up, and you be like, you know what, man? You just want to punch a hole in the fucking wall. Cause I have seen ton of my friends fucking go through that shit, and then girlfriends shit test them motherfuckers like a lot of motherfuckers. But for me, when I see shit like that, to me, is like that shit turns me the fuck off, because like to me, like it's bad enough as men, we gotta deal with these gossip laws, these bias, the family courts being biased as fuck against men and not really giving a fuck about our issues. It's bad enough we gotta deal with divorce courts financially fucking men in the ass. It's bad enough we gotta deal with, getting rid of about the family courts and other shit. But you got a volatile, crazy ass bitch who fucking sit there, who want to fucking tell you and give you a fucking shit test, because just to get a rise out of fuck out of you. And the problem I have with this mentality is the reason why I don't advocate dating, to me, whether you MGTOW or not, is because you're wasting your fucking time. You'll get more shit done focusing on you and you only. I know society don't like that shit because men being selfish and all the other crazy shit, but I say fuck that shit. Because I said the problem with America is that men need to understand know your fucking self-worth. I always talk about this all the fucking time. Learn to be a loner, learn to find things. It happen for guys that got a girlfriend, for guys that's entering MGTOW, but you got a girlfriend, but you don't know how to fucking deal with that shit. Find things to do when your girlfriend's not around. I often say about dating relationships, the reason why a lot of guys simp, or the reason why even I take marriages as a prime example, a lot of guys, a lot of females, and the reason why I tell you I don't date, and it's a huge reason, I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys in the chat can relate to it, is when women use sex as a card to get you to do what they want. So a lot of females gonna say, a female wants to buy a $1,500 purse, and you say, well, I don't think we should buy that 15. I don't think buy that $15 is a good idea. She said, I'm take away the sex. So which means is all she is good for what she has between her legs. So the point is, like, so you mean tell me I'm doing all this simping and shit? I'm taking you out to dinner, buying you roses, all this romantic bullshit that you want to call romanticism. Love don't fucking exist, in my motherfucking opinion. But like, this is my problem. And then I'm doing all this shit just so I can have some tired ass pussy that some other nigga done hit before. So it's like, my problem with this shit is like, we need to understand is that, man, I'm trying to get you guys to wake up, because we don't. A lot of guys don't understand about when you're living in this ghetto-centric world. You know what I'm saying? The problem is, you know what I'm saying. Like, the problem is that, you know what I'm saying, man, we are brainwashed and manipulated to truly fucking think that we need to fucking date and have this and this shit that going on. We need a woman in our life. Let me tell you something, man. I'm a comic book creator. I get more shit done being with myself than having a person around me. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. I have my mom, my sister, my niece around me. But far as other women, I don't want to be around. I don't want to be bothered, man. I want to be left the fuck alone a lot of times. And a lot of times, a lot of guys, we don't want to have this fair discussion, because when it comes to dating and relationships, we have the blue pill world, constantly blue pill men. Not just women, not just women, but mostly men. Well, I say most is half the times men, like blue pill men, constantly trying to tell us that getting married is the greatest thing ever, when 9 out of 10 statistics have shown that there's a lot of men miserable, that's fucking miserable as fucking marriage. Okay, so my thing with dating relationships is the fact that, yo, I'm trying. Hold on a second. fucking phone went the fuck off. But yeah, but going back to my point, I'm like, I feel like dating nowadays is so not fucking needed. Like, to me, I don't even advocate pump and dump nowadays. I mean, engaging in any type of relationship with females to me is very toxic and toxic and fucking dangerous. That if we don't fucking sit there and as men, if we don't know our self worth, and that's why I always tell guys, to me, I don't advocate it, but if you're gonna do this shit, figure this shit out. Like, know what you want. Know what you seriously want. Know what you want. Just know what you seriously want. Like, go into a relationship. If you enter into if you are entering a relationship, if you are entering a relationship, this is what you need to do. This is my flat out honest opinion. Relationships, whatever hobbies you was doing before you got in a relationship with that with the one with that girl or with that woman or with that woman, understand is that do what you was doing before you met that girl. So when that girl ain't around, or you gaming with your homies or your pot, I like to call them partners, whatever, gaming with your friends. Well, I won't say friends. I say you're just your comrades, I like to say, because there's no such thing. Men, when it comes to pussy, they'll fucking stab their own friend in the back for females pussy. And that's a fucked up way to look at life. But a lot of the times we don't want to have fair intimate, we don't this fair discussion when it comes to that, because even sometimes I talk about this all the time, like dating relationship, there's sometimes there could be times where a dude stab you in the back for dating, for dating, or trying to forget another chick. And I feel like we really need to, as a race of men, as men come together, not as a race, but as men come together and saying, you know what, look out for the next brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see a brother getting stressed the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to me, I don't advocate talking blue pill. I don't stand for mental. I mean, I keep that blue pill and that red pill knowledge out of my life when I'm not on YouTube or whatever. I don't discuss mental out in public because I'd be fucking hated if I did that shit. But like, the point is, I'm trying to get people to realize is that a lot of people, there is a lot of people, there is a lot of people who there is sincerely a lot of people out there, a lot of guys who date, and these, you know what I'm saying, there's a lot of guys who date who are so blind and manipulated to the fact, like, cause you hear guys saying they pussy whip. Like, to me, that's a scary fucking feeling, and that's not a good fucking thing. Which means it's saying that she got you wrapped around her finger, which means that she can manipulate you to do whatever she want, the fuck you want to do. It's like, and you hear guys say, I'm madly in love. Nah, man, you ain't in love, nigga. That's lust. You know what I'm saying? So when I hear guys even mention the dumbass word like, oh, I'm in love, like, no, motherfucker, that shit is lust, man. Look, like, you can't judge, and that's why I always say all the fucking time before Mike was whatever, you know, the word love don't exist, man. It does not fucking exist. I know a lot of you fucking blue pill, hopeless romantic motherfuckers romantic dudes out there. I don't know why you fucking romantic in the first fucking place, but I know you guys out there, you want to you want to believe in this shit. You want to believe, you know what I'm saying, that women are good and everything. Women are like this and they're the greatest thing ever. And they gonna make your world better. No, the fuck they don't, man. Like, look, you know what they're good for, man? They're just good for sex. And that's some dangerous shit too, because even sex can fucking be dangerous, because that's some fucking shit. You don't know what the fuck the females packing nowadays. But the point is, the reason why I don't advocate dating, because when people are out there dating to me is more of a high risk than a high reward. Think about it. You got to pick her up on time. You got to pick her up on time. You got to tell the joke. You got to pull the chair out. You got to do all the shit. And think about it, especially if you date black females. Hey, I don't like talking about race here, but especially dating black women in general, they are the fucking worst, man. Like, they want a roughneck. The moment they say they want a nice guy, you treat them nice, you treat like shit. They get a roughneck, they want you to be all rough and shit. They want you to have a street cred. They want you to have a jail record. And it's like, man, this shit's totally unfucking necessary. And you got bitch ass dudes like Steve Harvey, Michael Bays, and all these pink shirt wearing motherfuckers telling men, men do this, men do that. You need game. You need all this game. No, game is pure bullshit. And I'm tired of that shit, man. It's like all this shit we got to go through. And then, not to mention that, even I don't mention guys in relationships. Say, for instance, I'm gonna use this as a perfect example to explain what get my point across. Like, just imagine this, man. All right, you got a guy, you watching a comic book movie, right? You tell your girlfriend the movie starts off. say I'm going to use Thor Ragnarok as a prime example. I'm excited for them. Thor Ragnarok, right? I got a girlfriend. I tell her it's November, right? It starts off November, come out whatever November, right? And I tell her, look, I said, look, the movie starts at 3 o'clock. Be fucking ready. All right. I get to a house around what 11 or 12 o'clock, right? The movie starts at 3 o'clock, which means is give me enough time. Give me a couple of minutes. I put my clothes on. I'm heading out. I'm headed to a crib. I'm driving my car to the theater. All right, cool. I tell her I get to her there. I get her there. She's the bitch still isn't the bitch. The bitch still in her fucking pajama pants. And then is what is 11, 12, what it's like what 12, it's like 12 or 1 o'clock, right? And she's sitting there, she's spending an hour in the fucking bathroom preparing like she going to a goddamn fashion show. This reason why I don't fucking date at all. I'm pretty sure you guys can relate to this shit. And it's like you sitting there, you sitting there, you looking at the watch like, man, damn, movie starts at 3, it's 2 hours left. All right, cool. You get to 2 o'clock, you walk into the bathroom. She got her clothes on. She put on makeup. She's spending a fucking hour and a half trying to figure out what shoe she's going, what shoe she's going to wear to the fucking movie theater, to a fucking movie theater. And I'm sitting here as the guy, like, man, really? I'm like, if I could have came to the shit alone, but because she's my girlfriend, I gotta bring this bitch along for the fucking ride here. I'm sitting there and I get to motherfucking theater. Movie starts at 3 o'clock, and they be like, "Well, the show is already packed." And you sitting there in the car, and you wait for you see a later show in the movie, and it's like, if I had a girlfriend, it's like if I didn't have a girlfriend, I could have got here on fucking time, saw this fucking movie, ate after the movie got done, not this other crazy shit. And that's why I say dating to me in general is a waste of fucking time. All that money you're spending on her, you can be spending on your damn self. I mean, shout out to Grizzly MGTOW, brother. I love your channel, man. Grizzly MGTOW, he does videos on computer upgrades and PCs and shit. That like this the reason why I love him. This the reason why I love MGTOW, man. I love MGTOW because you can focus, you can do you can build, you can focus on your hobby. If it's archery, whether it's comic books, whether it's drawing, whether it's art, whatever draws you, whatever facility draws you in, you know, you know, whatever facility draws you in, whatever, what, like whatever facility, whatever facility you draw, whatever facility, um, whatever facility draws you in, whatever's your hobby is, cool. So, but like I said before, man, I mean, it's one of those things, man, is really for me. Um, Um, to me, I think what really for me, shout out to Luaz Nanaz. What really inspires me. For me, what inspires me to get up every day. For me, not getting a woman in my life, but what inspires me is me losing my dad. April 30th, 2004 for colon cancer, and how he died, and he told me some deep shit. I know this is coming off the topic here, but I'm going to try to address you guys. I'm addressing you guys in the chat. I gotta say what inspires me. My dad's death and how he died. He died a terrible death. I mean, he died shit out of the colostomy bag, and that was fucked up enough. But I think my dad's death what inspires me a lot to live my life to the fullest, so I don't fall for society expectations. Um, but like I said before, man, even going back to what I was saying before, and like even not just my dad's death, going back to what I was saying with my dad's death. My dad died, so he told me, he says, don't do what everybody else wants you to do, what you want to do. So for me, when me choosing not to date is a personal reason why. It goes back to a personal experience too as well. Dating 14 years old and realizing that dating was a piece of shit, was a waste of fucking time. But to me, the reason why this channel is for to enlighten men, to wake men up to this idea that you ain't gotta have a woman in your life to be fucking happy, man. The society want to tell you that you gotta fucking have a woman in your life and all this other shit. You ain't gotta fucking have a woman in your life, bro, to fucking be happy. I know there's a lot of dudes out there who so blue pill, and they so blue pill they don't understand, you know, you know, whatever. I mean, my bad. I mean, fuck your name up, man. But like, whatever. I'm not gonna pronounce the names. Um, to me, I feel like what people don't understand about me is that I try to for me, I try to be myself. And I think the hardest part about dating in America, and the reason I want to bring this topic up too, to like dating relationships, is like I constantly get this fucking question asked all the fucking time around my female members. When you gonna get a girlfriend? When you gonna get this and that? And that's why I did previous streams about those topics, because this topic right here, what up, MA?
Hey, do I sound any better?
Yeah, you sound way better. Go ahead.
All right, cool. Right on. No, continue what you were doing. I got to catch up. So.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but like what I was saying before you came in, that like I constantly get this question asked all the time: when you gonna get a girlfriend? When you gonna get this and that? When you gonna get this and that? Like like I said before, I have told I have you guys on home my story on Staying Free MGTOW stream about, you know, I'm the only out all the kids out all the kids on my dad's side. I don't have kids. My sister has my niece. My brother Greg has a niece. I'm just gonna say their names. I'm not gonna say last names. I ain't gonna dedox myself. But and then my brother Dreekus, he has. I have a nephew, and my brother Bam, he has kids as well. I'm the only one out of my dad's kids who don't have kids, and to me, I'm cool. I'm cool with that. But when I brought this topic up in dating relationships, because I feel like a lot of guys don't understand about dating relationships, like that shit is a fucking trap, man. See, what society don't want to fucking tell you, what a lot of those guys is, see, what those guys don't want to tell you is, on the outside looking in, they may be holding hands and they may be enjoying that shit, but deep down inside, they fucking life is fucking miserable as fucking, they fucked up, and they just can't, they ain't having no fun. They ain't doing, they're not doing the thing they was doing before they got in the relationship. So it's like, what's the fucking point of a relationship? It's like, you gonna lose yourself. I was watching, no, it was a song listed on, I mean, I want you to dress this song too. It was like, it was about a brand new artist from Atlanta called Jed. And like the Neville story, which is G signed by J. Cole, whatever. And he did a song called Hereditary. He was talking about in the female, in the song, it kind of, I was thinking, it made me brought back this topic. And I was listening to the song, it made me want to bring this topic up. And the female, she was like, you don't show me any love anymore. You don't give me no attention and this crazy shit. And I want you to change. It's like the reason why I don't date either, because females always trying to change you into some shit you don't want to be, you don't need to be. Like they're trying to turn. It's like a fucking puppy. Like it's like a tame puppy. Like they're trying to make you something you're not. Like that's the problem I have with dating in general, and all other MGTOWs too. Is like they trying to change you. Like they can't accept you for who you are. If I'm a opinionated asshole, let me be an opinionated asshole. Why I gotta be a fucking person that just don't express shit, you know?
It's a timeless story, man. I mean, women have always wanted to change whatever man they chose, and it all goes back to their choosing. So,
yeah,
I mean, you're not gonna. You will be hard pressed to find a woman that is capable of accepting things as they are.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead. I mean,
the funny thing is, so if everything's all right, meaning basically you don't fight that much, you don't have huge problems. Like you're not an addict, you're not a alcoholic, maybe you don't even have kids. You know, everything's just kind of basic, boring would be, whatever you want to use. The typical woman will still find a way, find fault with you, and then change you. Because if you're too boring, she's going to complain about you not being a bad boy or not being adventurous or mysterious. If you're too much of an asshole, you're going to get complaints about that, which is obvious. You're being an asshole. Who wouldn't complain? But no matter what you do, you're always going to be expected to jump through hoops.
Yeah,
and that's just the way it is.
And that's the huge problem with dating, is like the shit you got to go through. I was watching Toronto guy video. He was talking about the evolution, the steps you got to go through to get the female. And it's like he was reading through the steps and shit. And I was reading that shit. I was like, man, god damn, that's a lot of steps to be going through. Like, take the girl out, buy her roses, pull the chair, give you a jacket. I'm like, damn, this is a lot of fucking work to be doing. Damn, this ain't fucking, that ain't no fucking, that's not natural. Like, you doing all the work while she's sitting back and just enjoying all the fruits of your labor. Like, I don't see the benefits of like go jumping through hoops. And to me, and that's the reason why I'm and not just in just what I was saying a minute hours ago before we did the stream. You know, when we first started the stream about the games that the games even want to play, it's like changing the motherfucker. Look, I'm a boring motherfucker, dude. Like, I tell you flat out, I'm like, on the internet it makes it seem like I got a dope personality. I'm a quiet, reserved stay to myself type of dude. I'm a boring dude. I do the same shit over and over again, man. I don't try. I try to switch it up a little bit. I try to do different things, like get up and go to the movies from time to time. But if I don't have the money to get up and go to the movies, whatever, I stay at the crib, read comic books, and watch anime and Dragon Ball Z, the crazy shit. I'm a geeky guy. Okay, I'm a geeky guy. You guys know about me. I'm a motherfucking geek. I'm not gonna show my face and detox myself, but like my room is full of comic book shit. So it's like I'm a regular dude, man. Like, and that's why I try to say a girl date me, she would consider me boring as fuck, like you were saying before. Like most women nowadays, and even if females say that the guy's an asshole, even though deep down inside they want the asshole, but they don't want the asshole. They want the asshole in the beginning, then they want to change them to some puppet motherfucker that just don't got no spine at all. But like my
So
opinion,
in your experience, what have they wanted to do uh, to have fun, or what do they wanted to do, or to push you into doing to entertain them? What are some examples of that?
um, well, I think this is even funny because there was a what is it? It was this girl, I think it was this one chick, whatever. It was this one chick. So with me, it was this one chick. So I'm just gonna use this. I'm not gonna say her name. I'm just gonna say Felicia. I'm just gonna say her name, first name, whatever. Um,
Hi, Felicia.
yeah. So it was like this. All right, cool. So it was like beginning of January this year, right? This before the channel got started. This before I called myself No Filter, and I was like still kind of contemplating this channel. So I was like, whatever. And it's like I was having these thoughts, like, man, I want to talk about this shit, but I just don't know people will listen. But I got audience now. And I was talking about this chick, and she was telling me no, because she was telling me type of guy she dates. She was like, I date a lot of roughnecks, and she was like, she found me interesting because I was reserved. No, I was in a Barnes and Noble, so she was in a Barnes and Noble, right? I was in a Barnes and Noble reading a Batman comic, something like that, whatever. So she was like, I'm the only black dude in the Barnes and Nobles reading a comic book. And she tried to pretend like she was in the comic books, whatever, so on and so. So one day it was like, all right, we ended up swapping numbers, and it was like having a hour-long conversation about comic books. I guess she was trying to, it's kind of like the auditioning part, so whatever. And the chick was trying to, she was trying to read me, whatever. She was like, I'm trying to. It's like going. I won't use this analogy perfectly. It's like going to a psychic and trying to get your future read, and she tell you about your future, and she be like, so and so, something big, something big, positive will happen in your life, right? And you thinking that shit gonna happen at that moment once you leave it, and then it's like, well, that was a waste of money. And the chick was like, what was it? The chick was like, she was into what the fuck you call it? She was trying to read my vibe, whatever. And she's like most of the guys I'm interested in, I get interested. And she was like, it's something about you that it's something off. It's something's weird. It's something weird about me. And she was trying to say it in a compliment way, but I didn't see. I kind of took it as a fucking as a diss. But I was kind of reading to the situation. I didn't mind reading we didn't swap numbers. So like a couple of I would like couple of weeks we're talking on the phone. We met we met up at a bowling alley, right? So we was bowling, whatever. So I didn't mind paying for the bowling. It was a bowling thing, whatever. I paid for the bowling, and so we just bowling. So we sitting there, and then like whatever, because it was a competitive thing. I'm a competitive person, whatever, male or female, whatever. And the whole entire time, she was like, when we first met at the bar, when we first met at the Barnes Noble, you had that chill, laid back personality, like the whole point. So, and I remember just solely when I first met her, she was like in the what you call it? She was in the book section, and the comic books was near like these. She was like it was like the relationship books. I don't know why they would do this. It's a dumbass way to put it. The relationship books is near the comic books. I guess I don't know. Maybe that was some weird ass organizations. I didn't raise no
Yeah,
questions.
that is kind of funky. Yeah, that's strange.
I guess the Barnes and Noble I went to was weird, some weird ass shit. So the girl was like, okay, cool. So she was like looking at me, and she was like, because I got dreads. If y'all don't know about me, I got dreads. And she's like, you kind of attractive. Like, well, thank you. I really get it from females. And she's like, and she was looking at me sitting down, whatever, we talking. And like I had my laptop with me because I was creating a character at the time. I was trying to get some ideas. And she was like, what you doing? She's like, well, I'm kind of creating a character right now. And it's like she's talking to me. She was like, oh. She's like, oh, you into comic books? Like, yeah. She says, I'm an aspiring writer. And she's like, oh, aspiring writer. So who you want to write for? I was like, I want to write for Marvel, DC, and Marvel, DC, and like Image, Dark Horse, like any comic book company really. And I have dreams of owning a company one day. She said, okay, cool. So she's talking to me. And she was like, she's trying to get, because when I'm talking to women, especially my mindset I have now, I'm kind of guarded. So I kind of like, I tell people like I'm into the stuff I'm into, but I don't tell them much about me. I'm like, I don't tell them I'm quiet and reserved or other crazy shit. So like after a couple of weeks talking to her on the phone, she invites me over to bowling, of course. And then she tells me the thing went pretty good. And the whole entire time she was talking to me, whatever. And she finally got a hold of my personality because I'm quiet and reserved. And she asked me something a long time ago. She was like, so, when you ain't creating characters or you ain't reading comic books, you know what I'm saying? If you had to describe if you had to use one word, if you had to use, well, this was technically two words, say one word to describe your personality. And I was like laid back. And then I saw her reaction to the shit, and she was like, well, why would you use that word laid back? She said, well, to be honest with you, I don't go on that many dates. And I told her I don't go on that many dates because one, I'm not into dating like that. And two, is like, I'm a loner. I told her flat out, I'd rather be alone. And she was intrigued by me. She was like, well, why would you prefer to be alone? I mean, you're a good looking guy. I'm like, well, thank you for telling me that. But the reason why I'm like this because I've been like this ever since the age of 14. And she's like, what? She's like, so out of all the girlfriends you had, name one girlfriend you had. I had one girlfriend my whole life. And she's like, so you never been a woman at the age of 14, you stopped dating at all? I'm like, yeah, I became a loner like that. That's who I am, who I'm in vibe. And then so whatever, so we were still talking after we went bowling, and she invited me over to a place one time. I spent the weekend over at her place, whatever. Caught the motor bus there, and so going to the girl house, and then we was cool kicking in her crib, and she's talking to me, and she's like, you know what? She's over talking to me, and I'm trying to get to the vibe. I'm very laid back. I don't talk as much. I'm very guarded. Like when I'm on your when I'm with streaming you guys, I'm very talkative because I got a lot of energy. But when I'm by myself, I'm very quiet and laid back. So for me, it's more like I gotta be quiet and reserved. I can't just be, you know what I'm saying? I can't, I try to reserve my energy. Plus, I'm not open. I don't try to play too much of me. She came to me and she saw my personality, and she finally got a hold of my personality, and she was asking me about my personal life, and she was like, so you only been with one girl your whole life? He said, name the last girlfriend you had when I was 14 years old. How old are you now? I'm 28. I turned 29 this year. He says, how many years have you went? And she says, are you a virgin? I was like, no. So how many times have you had sex? I said, 2. You says, 2. Why only 2 times? I said, be honest with you, if I had to fucking flat out be honest with you, I think sex is fucking overrated. And 2, I don't need a woman in my life to feel complete. I pissed off when she said that. And she's looking at me, and she was like, I get you. You are one of them square. You one of square nerdy guys, ain't you? I'm like, it took you that long to figure that shit out? And she was like, yeah. She was like, I know one. That's why you was in the combos. You was one of them nerdy guys, ain't you? Like, you been to jail before? No. You gotta you know what I'm saying? Like, and she was like, have you ever been in a fight? I'm like, I only fight if necessary.
Let me ask you a question. Was this conversation all after you already hit it?
Yeah, after. We never had sex though. It was never one of those things, but I never had sex. It was to me, because I'm so like I'm so like I say this. I just truly say this, man. I'm like this, man. We never had sex, and thank God I didn't, because I probably regret that shit. But still,
so
like,
hold on. So I need a better. Well, then I need to be clarified here. So you spent a lot of time with her, like weekends and shit. Like, but you guys like sleep in the same bed and just cuddle and shit? Like, is that what the context is, or?
I mean, it got to that point. We did cuddle to one point, but it never like she was trying to like, cause my person, I guess it was something about me. She was like, she found me very attractive, and it's like I found her attractive to a point, but not to the point where I wanted to date her. Like it was like I was just talking to her. Like it's just one of those things where I just had a person to talk to. Whatever. It was not one of those things where I was not, oh my God, I need a woman in my life. Like, no, I'm a red pill dude. So I'm blue. Like when I'm out in the world, when I'm not talking to you guys, I'm so laid back. Like I'm a very laid back person. So for me to even engage into a female like that, it's kind of different. I stay to myself a lot of times. So it was like a couple of weeks, whatever. And don't get me wrong. I mean, the girl was kind of, was fucking hot. She was attractive. I'm not gonna fucking lie. I'm not gonna be, oh yeah, man. No, like I'm still a man. I still got them urges like a motherfucker. But even when the times where it was the cuddle and what was it? Shit, there was times where it almost led to be intimate. And I told her, I was like, stop. I was like, I don't do that shit. And she's like, what? She's like, I don't have sex. And she's like, what? She's like, huh? And it kind of changed, huh? No, because like
I don't have this way to control you. What the fuck you just say?
Yeah, no, like no, it's because no, sometimes you know what I'm talking about, man. You know how you've been in that moment where you come in with a chick or you over at the chick house and it's like y'all watching a movie or some bullshit movie, y'all watch Netflix, whatever, and you watch the shit and then you watching it and you're trying to like you're watching the shit and it's like okay, one thing leads to another, y'all start the guy and girl start kissing and shit like that and it leads to whatever the fuck, at least to them start fucking whatever. And it's like it got to that point where it was like, I'm not gonna fucking lie, my shit was hard. But I had to think, you know what? If I act off this shit, like I'm trying to control this shit. Like I told myself this shit, like, man, look, I gotta control this shit. I don't know how the fuck I controlled it, but it was so different. And she, whatever, so she took the bra off and everything. And I'm like, whatever. So I'm not gonna fucking lie. I was, whatever. I'm not gonna do whatever. I'm kind of keep censoring myself here. I'm trying to keep the audience engaged. And I stopped myself. I was like, dude, I gotta stop this shit. No, I'm like, no, put your shirt back on. Just watch this movie, call it a day. And she looks at me and she says, out of every guy, she says, every time when I invite a guy over to my crib, we end up having sex. She said that you denied me. That is so fucking weird. I'm like, what's weird about that?
Weird. It's probably an ego something there, man.
Yeah.
Let's rewind. Let's rewind all the way back until the first. There's some interesting shit in this very first encounter, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing, like, all right. So the sections are self-help, relationship shit, and then comic books, right?
Yeah. I mean, because they did.
When did you first think about why is this bitch over in the relationship aisle? When did it dawn on you to even think about that shit?
I didn't think about it until like I didn't think about it until I left. Like they left that chick house like for the weekend. Like when I spent the weekend over there, and I didn't think about it because the times and go before that moment where it was about to be intimate. But I stopped that shit because I had to control myself because I was about to do some foul fucked up shit and I didn't have a condom. But I was like, nah, man, I'm not finna. Hell nah, man, this is crazy shit. And I didn't think about it at the time when I was calling my friend. I was like, man, dude, like she was in the relationship section and she was telling me, the time, the moment we're about to be intimate. And she was telling me about like every guy she dated, like she dated asshole after asshole. Now, maybe that's for me, maybe it's the red pill in me that like, you know what, dude, you judge a female, like you don't judge a female for what they say, you judge them off the actions. Like for me, like my father told me a long time ago about women, like you judge a female off the five. If you, my father told me anytime you go on a date with a chick, he says, ask the female, describe your last 5 boyfriends, and they say, well, like all 5 of them was in jail. That's a dating path. That's not fuck that's a fucking dating history. And that's look, the next guy she wanted to get with has gonna be be like the last 5 dudes what she get with. So what made me really want to really say, you know what, I didn't catch on to it until like I had time to think about this shit. And she was telling me about how she wanted a relationship and she was like, I'm a different guy, I'm unique. And she's like, it's something about your aura. It's like you just give off that laid back vibe and it's something about you. But what caught on to me, and then she called me later, and we stopped talking later, like after in February we stopped talking. And I told her, this is what I told her. I told her, look, this is what I told her. I said, look, you looking for a relationship. And she's like, why did we stop talking? Because she would call me and I would never call her back. And I finally decided to call her back. And I told her, look, the reason I didn't call you back because you want a relationship. And she said, how can you tell? I'm like, because I didn't think about it at the time. I told her I didn't think about it at the time, but you was in relationship help, you was in the relationship section looking at how the relationships works. And I'm not the dating type. I'm not the relationship type. I'll be a terrible boyfriend. Okay, like I'm not. And plus, and I said plus what you told me about the 5 dudes, all your boyfriends been thugs and shit. I'm not a thug. I never been to jail. I ain't, you know what I'm saying, never shot, still robbed, none of that shit. I never sold dope. I never done none of this shit you want. Like all the guys, he was like, all my boyfriend with dope dealers. So I'm like, well, I already know what this gonna fucking entail. So hell fucking nah. So I looked at her and she's like, well, why? I'm like, she's like, why would you judge me on my past? I'm like, you can tell a woman history by the last 5 guys she dated. And if a female say she dated 5 criminals, all boyfriends and bad boys and thugs and shit, they got criminal records. That's a fucking telling history right there. Say that she want the next guy has to be that. If the next guy's not that, she gonna make his life a living fucking hell. And even if the dude, like you said, even if she get a guy that's a thug, guess what happened? She gonna try to change him into a nice guy. So I was like, plus I know what that shit entails, and plus I've kind of been through the shit before I was 14. So I had a girlfriend I was 14 trying to change me into a blue pill something, and in a way she kind of did. But I caught on to I learned from that shit from a long time ago that nah, man. I said, if I keep talking to you, I'm going to end up going back to the plantation, and I'm not trying to go back to
Let me
the
tell you something
plantation.
about thugs real quick, because it's a perfect opportunity to interject here.
You go ahead.
Women easily manipulate thugs, and the truth about most thugs, right? Most of these motherfuckers are not stoic. Hold on, hold up. I'm getting a call real quick. Of course, as soon as I start fucking talking, hold up.
Yeah. You there? All right. Am I? Am I? Yeah, I think we know what I'm going back to. I'm waiting to make this going. But going back to what I was saying, guys, like I said before, man, me and my experiences in general, and like now that I'm older again, it's funny because like you'll think, and you know, I turned 29 this year. For you guys don't know about me, but I turned 29 this year, and while I turned 29, one thing I sincerely learned about me as a human being and self-control is that being a loner helps, helps curb that sex addiction. And I'm not saying it doesn't help it go away, because you can get those urges I get those urges like any other male, but man out there. But I think the one thing I sincerely learned about myself in that situation is that you got to know the red flags are there. And I think that I always said before, I think it's the truth, and I think it's 100% true. Once you take that red pill, even if you go back, which is for me a highly unlikely for me to go back, but you know what I'm saying, if it does happen, I hope it don't. But because you never say, I won't say never, but because shit happens all the time. But the moment you take that fucking red pill, the moment you realize that the moment you realize that you got freedom. And that's why I always talk about, like, I like on MA, Avatar of monks. I love the monk culture. Like, I sustained from sex for 27 years, and the last stream MA did was celibacy. So for me, I think that the reason why I kind of gravitate and I relate to I can kind of relate to MGTOW in a way too, because when I heard, like I said before, when I first came across MGTOW, it was one of those things that, man, I'm gonna fucking tell you guys, like, what I was so blue pill. I was so blue pill, you couldn't tell me jack shit, dude. Like, and that's why I said dating relationships. I want to talk about this topic because I was so fucking blue pill that I could not see it. So there's a lot of my friends, a lot of people around me talking about, Chris, no filter, no filter, that you're angry. You know what I'm saying? You're this, you're that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You're so fucking angry. You're so fucking pissed. And I did not see it at the time because I was so, what you call it, I was so angry and pissed off that I never really saw the difference between it. And the hard time is, like, for me, being that blue pill simp I was so blue pill, man, you couldn't tell me jack shit. And that's why I say like the knowledge I have about dating relationships now, and if I had it when I was like 21 or 22, 23 years old, my mindset would be a whole lot different, and I'd be a lot more happier than I was back then. Because to me, I feel like dating, I learned a lot from it. Not just getting the rejection, not just, girls, all kinds of shit, but it's a fucked up thing that nobody has to go through. And that's why I'm discussing this topic, because I want guys to understand the fact that we all been there before. Man, you'd have been there, we all been there, that, we all been in that blue pill mindset that women is everything. And then the moment you get out of that blue pill mindset and you realize that, what I'm saying, like, once you take that red pill, you know what I'm saying, you look at shit different. You know what I'm saying? You look at sex different. You look at life different. You look at women different. You look at marriage different. You look at, I tell you what, I was so blue pill, dog. I wanted wife and kid and all kinds. I believed in all that shit, man. And the older I got to realize, man, that shit was all a facade. Love do not exist in this world. And I had to fucking realize
The old fairy tale never gonna stop being a fairy tale.
yeah.
Right? Because this fairy tale is tailor made.
Yeah.
Toward all our default sensibilities and desires as human beings.
Yeah.
It caters to every little fucking thing of it, like this fairy tale of settling down and shit. I mean, every once in a while,
yeah,
on both sides, there's gonna be a bachelorette that just never feels it naturally. But for the most part, most people are really dig the idea.
Yeah.
This idea.
And that's
we know how that happens, but
and that's why I'm not a fan, like, when you see guys get married. Like, I'm not a fan of the bachelor parties. I'm not a fan of that shit, man. It's like, dude, it's like, you shouldn't be doing this position in the first place. But if you're gonna do that shit, cool. But, like, I don't even go to bachelor parties. Like, I've been to one bachelor party my whole life, and I was like 23 at the time. And like I said before, I've been to strip clubs one time and never went back. Like, I'm a conscious person. If y'all don't know about me, I think about shit a lot of times. I listen to a lot of deep rap, like Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole. I think about a lot of shit. Like, I overthink a lot of shit too. So for me, it's more like, if I'm in a strip club, if I see a stripper stripping on the pole, I'm thinking about, man, that could be my niece, or that could be my sister, shit like that. So I think deep as fuck. I can't turn off my brain and be like, you know what, I'm just gonna fucking just throw money. I'm throwing my money at this female slide on the pole. I can't do that shit, man. I can't just fucking be a blue pill dude, just go through a relationship and date and just be manipulated to be changed in somebody I'm not. Like, I just can't do that shit. That shit is no fun to me. If you trying to change a motherfucker, obviously you got bad intentions, man. It's like, to me, that shit is not normal. Like, I know a lot of guys may consider that shit normal, but to me, that shit is not normal, man. And plus, it's always masculinity being redefined. A real man does this, a real man does, like, it's always something that's fucking that concurs it. And it's like, these females don't have to do anything in relationships. They don't have to cook. They don't have to clean. They don't have to take care of the family. They don't have to be traditional, but men have to be traditional. And that's why I say I don't date, because one, it's like, it's always men. All the pressure is put on the man. It's like, get down on one knee. It's like they put all the pressure on man for the man.
The roles of men have become so effeminized and also ambiguous. Is that the curious thing is that the modern woman can now enter a relationship and she calls the shots on how you're supposed to behave as a man in the context of when you're with her, and in many times even how you act in general.
Yeah.
Because because of all these ideas of what masculinity and manhood are, they're out the fucking window. And whenever cats dare bring up, well, like, hey, this is what I vibe, this is my manhood. When we try to assert that shit, it's usually shut down, called some dinosaur shit. It's called some, you know, all kind of is you're gonna get some shaming language with that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
however, like especially when you if you have a curious mix like MGTOW does, it's like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna do my own. I'm gonna self actualize, and I'm going to pick all these vestiges of manhood in our culture. I'm gonna pick and choose which one worked for me.
Yeah.
So the protector shit, nah, ain't with it. The provider shit, nah, ain't with it. Standing my own ground, doing my own thing, yeah, I'm with that. I mean, and see, this is why we get so much hate, is because how dare we pick and choose amongst all these, you know, archaic and neo versions of masculinity. We're not supposed to do that. That's way
Yeah.
too much fucking.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
and the thing is not just necessarily that. It's like manhood, the landscape of manhood has been changed so much to the point where it's like men being domesticated. Like it's like they try to make it normal, like a man being a stay-at-home father. Like that shit is not normal to me, dude. I don't give a damn what you try to make normal. Or they try to make a dude cook, or when a guy go on a date and the female ask him, "Do you know how to cook?" Instead of, you know, it'd be the other way around. Like, so you mean
I'll,
tell me? Yeah, it
I'll
just
challenge you on that. Like when I'll challenge you on that in this way, because having forced to do all these things by myself,
yeah. Nothing wrong with
you
that.
know, I learned how to cook. I'm a better cook than almost any woman I've ever met, with the exception of maybe one or
I
two.
mean, but like
Right?
I don't want
And,
people.
and it's like another thing that should be challenged. And I'm not. I mean, if you ain't want to have kids, that's cool. But from that perspective,
Mhm,
the whole nurturing thing,
mhm,
you know, there's a case to be made that I had to kind of train myself to be
mhm,
more of a nurturing kind of thing. But
mhm.
I really fucking think that we should be dispelling this notion that men are not nurturing to children. This is bullshit,
Yeah.
right?
I mean,
So
but
yeah,
I'm not trying to say, yeah, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with a man cooking. To me, I'm not the best cook. I'm learning how to cook myself, but like, there's nothing wrong with cooking and cleaning. A guy, I think every guy should know how to cook and clean. I think that's very important for just especially if you're gonna be a bachelor, but not bachelor, but just MGTOW in general. But I think I understand where you're coming from with that, but I'm saying with how I'm speaking from like in society norms, like how society is trying to tell women can be empowered, but let's emasculate the men and tell them, yo, you do this feminine shit, but like we don't want to hold women to that standard. And what pisses me off too with dating too, when it comes to dating women in America, is like you got all Steve Harvey, all these relationship self-help dudes, all Dr. Phil, all the blue pill dudes, they get married. What's the worst thing they give advice to females? Yup, you should have unrealistic standards that you ain't gotta bring nothing to the table besides sex, and that's it. You ain't gotta do nothing. You ain't gotta cook, you ain't gotta clean, you ain't gotta be nurturing, you ain't gotta fucking do anything else. And my thing is as a man, why would I want to sign up and take, like, why my thing is, why it's like, to me, I feel like a relationship is 80-20. A relationship should never feel like 80-20, where the man's doing 80% of the work to make the relationship work, and the female doing 20%, which means is that person is not carrying any weight. It's like being on the basketball team and you're the shooting guard, and then you got the point guard, and the point guard's the second best scorer on the team, and it's like you showing up doing your job, but the point guard fucking turning the ball over. He doing all kinds of crazy shit. He trying to fucking make highlights and shit. And you trying to fucking get the team to championship. And his point guard's like, man, I don't give a fuck about this shit. And fuck up the game. You lose the game by 20 points and shit. And they're looking at you like, hey, I showed up, man. Look. And that's my, and I'm talking about with dating and relationships. Like, I feel like the man is the shooting guard. We trying to carry the team to championship. And the female is the point guard. Her job is not to turn the ball over, and she just turned the ball over doing what the fuck she's supposed to do. She don't give a fuck about the team. She's trying to fucking get her highlights and shit because she ain't getting the name recognition. Like, my thing is, I don't want to, for me, dating to me is a waste of time in that form, because why would I want to fucking date? Why should I fucking have to, why should I have to fucking risk my life and sacrifice my life and live my health just to take care of another grown ass adult? Like, she can take care of herself. 100%. And that's why I say, I know for me, I know a lot of people, I know there's some guys out there who own this whole traditionalist bullshit about, man, you know, women being empowered and it's the 21st century. Look, man, look, if these women want to work, go ahead, man. Look, I ain't stopping them. Go ahead, do what you want to do. But my thing is, to me, is the fact that my thing is, let them take care of themselves. And that's why I feel like when a lot of these married men set themselves up to failure, because a lot of these guys, they so caught up in that traditionalist bullshit, like Negro's manosphere. When I said fuck you to the Negro manosphere, they on that traditionalist bullshit. Like, you say you about men's rights, but 9 times out of 10, MGTOW is more for more men than you are, because you on that same shit feminists and trend the gynocentric society is on. Like, you on that same traditionalist bullshit. You know, we hate women bullshit. No, which the fuck we don't. Because if you ask about you, Emma, you got daughters. I got a niece. I got a mom. I got a sister. I don't fucking hate women, dude. I'm just well aware of their fucking behaviors. So don't get fucking mad at me when I say check out the system. And I would think that with us checking out the system, that's more pussy for you. I would think you should be fucking happy. A lot of people checking out the system. It's like, I said,
there's a dozen reasons why men checking out the system is advantageous for everybody involved. So, one, for the dudes that want to mock the shit, the blue pill simps and shit like that. Yep, more fucking less competition for you, because a lot of us come from a different angle. So here's the thing: like, just look at the two of us, right? Let's not speak on anybody else, but look at the two of us, right? You got this. I mean, you say you ain't got a personality, but I mean, you're younger than I am, a little bit. But you got ambition, you got the comic book thing, you got talent. Seems like you do what you got to do. You work, this, that, and the third. I mean, for all intents and purposes, you a good catch to a bitch. You really are. And so you're interested in all that good shit, right? If you know how a woman thinks, that you are. Me, how do I do this without sounding like a fucking arrogant asshole? I'm dope.
yeah,
Like, hands down, because I'm only more dope now than I've ever was before, because I got my head out of my ass, and I started getting lessons from all these things that life put on my table. So I'm super fucking dope. You know what I mean? So, but at the same time, they don't want me back, because if I went back, I mean, you can't take away the red pill. So if I went back, you're gonna have a different kind of fucking player out there that's just gonna fuck the game up.
yeah. And,
Nobody wants that shit. So.
that's what I was trying to say. Like, when I'm saying when you take that red pill, dude, like, you can't go back to that mindset. Like, I look back at my mindset when I was 14 years old, and like, if I had this knowledge I had now, I'd probably be opinionated. I'd be a pompous asshole, dog. I'm a genuine nice guy deep down inside, because I do believe in treat people right, and I don't like treat people like assholes, whatever. But I'm an asshole when I need to be, because that's how the world set men up to be anyway. But it's like, my thing has always been, to me, it's like, I won't say I do got personality. I just think that, to me, just like, I try to be reserved, because I'm so much of a laid back person. Like, I'm the type of person where, like, if you get me angry, I punch people. Okay, like, I got temper on me. Okay, I'm a quiet motherfucker. Like they always say, that quiet motherfucker in the room. That's the one you need to watch out for. I'm that quiet motherfucker in the room that you don't want to fuck with. Like, you think, okay, this motherfucker he's a punk. Fuck with me if you want to. You gotta get a bottle bash side of your goddamn head fucking with me. But I'm saying, that's my personality, and that's why I try to say, when people gravitate towards me, I kind of understand why, like, where you coming from. Like, a lot of women out there will see me, they're like, oh, this dude reserved. So obviously he got a mean streak to him, because I got a mean streak to me when I fucking get angry. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I got an edge to me when I want to be, but I ain't got that type of edge where I'm going up shooting up shit and got a criminal record. No, I'm talking about, like, the type of edge where you fuck with me, you gonna see a side of me you don't want to see. So it's like, my thing for me is the reason why I don't engage in females too, because I told one girl, I told my girl, cause I had a lot of anger issues coming up when I was a kid. And I remember I was talking to this my last girlfriend, 14 years old, and I told her, I said, look, I got an anger issue. I have very severe anger issues, and if you piss me off, I might get physical. So one day, whatever, this is the last time this is why I realized that relationships are a waste of fucking time. She said some shit to me, because it was, the whole thing was, what was it? What was it? She was it was something. It was something. It was basically, it was me and her was getting into a heated argument. It was during school, whatever. It was like at the end of the school, whatever. All right, whatever. So the whole time I'm going, I'm getting into this heated argument with her, and she's sitting there hitting on me for like fucking. She's hit me for like 30 seconds. And my anger is building the fuck up. I'm getting steamed up. I'm trying to draw that shit back, and I'm about to ball my fist up and about to knock that girl living the fuck out. And literally to the point where, like, I just grabbed her and pushed her, and she broke a leg. and I got suspended for 10 days that day. And the point where the parents, my mom, they had my mom and dad, my mom and dad had to come back up there, and they were about to expel me, saying, "Sir, that's assault, that's physical assault against women." All I did was push her. That's all I did. But I pushed her in a way that it felt like a fucking like a motherfucking maniac on road rage. That's how angry I was because I was so different. And the point was, okay, so after never mind the fact I was about to be expelled, and I was so blue pill, I went back to the bitch. It was crazy shit. And then to the point where I looked at her and I said, I told you I had anger issues and you pushed me anyway. And she was like, I was just doing that shit test you. And you know what? And from that point on, I just woke the fuck up. And she broke up with me. And what, 2 months later, 2 weeks later after that, she broke up with me. And even I took that shit hard. I said, you know what? This is a lesson from God. I never did nothing. I am never getting another relationship to save my motherfucking life. Because I've been through shit tests before, dog. When I was getting shit tests when I was 14 years old, I've been there.
What you just said? What you just said is a twofold thing. One, you basically said I'm done, and then two, I'm done for all right. So I'm done for two reasons: for myself and for everybody else, right? So you know your limitations, your flaws, your anger points.
Yeah.
And so here's the thing: aren't you making a mature, conscious, and responsible choice by not engaging? Because if it doesn't work for you and you're liable to get wild and some shit, it's a good thing that you're stepping away.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, and that's why I tell people, and that's like, I wish I could tell my female family members that shit. But like, I have anger issues. I got anger issues. I get physical with people, man. Like for me, dude, like you know how women are, man. They fucking push your fucking buttons, dude. Like to me, I have friends right now in relationships, girls. The girlfriend be telling them all kinds of shit. That's why I fucked your boy. I did this to so and so, and it's like they get you riled the fuck up. I can imagine me being in a relationship, and that's why I stay the fuck up, stay to myself. And I tell even some of my friends, it's like, man, why you be alone, man? Don't that bother you? I said, dude, guess what happened? You give me a girlfriend, it'll go crazy because women shit test people all the time, and I ain't got time for this shit, this stupid shit test. Because one, when I do the shit, when women shit test me, I get physical with people, and I might end up in jail for domestic violence. I may not be doing for the intent, but it's like I get angry. I know my motherfucking limits. So for me, it's like I'm not engaging in that type of shit. And Tim is like, man, something's still wrong with you. I'm like, dude, I'm doing it for my own safety, dude. I'm doing this to protect it for myself. Because one, and like I even told the female, the one I went bowling with, and I told her, I was like, I have anger issues. And the reason why I don't engage, I don't want to engage in a relationship with you is because one, I fear my deepest fear is losing control, and you piss me off one day and say, and I told her, I said, if we did stuff,
don't you understand how that's fucking perceived in the female brain?
Yeah.
You just surrendered power. You just said, hey, this is a button you can fuck with.
Yeah.
So they're not going to hear it as a warning, and they're not going to respect that boundary you just laid down. They're going to be like, oh shit, I can fuck with them on this shit. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Go back to another example that you laid down is like with the one broad that you were, I guess, kind of courting with a little bit, and you told her straight up, like, you know what, I'm not really into the whole boning shit. She just like, what? You fucked her up in the head because, like, that's another thing you took away. You can't fuck with me on this sex shit because I don't have a big interest in it.
Yeah.
Right. So
yeah.
Ways where you can and cannot be fucked with. You have to have like. This is the interesting about the red pill and the pitfalls in the beginning, especially with the rage, is that with the red pill, you start interpreting other stories, information, and you start filtering that through your own experiences, and then all of a sudden game makes sense. It's like a moment of clarity, and you see shit for what it is, and you understand. But here's the interesting thing about that. One wrong move, and you're on that purple pill shit. You're on that player shit. Because, like, you know what? Now I got all this game on women. Now I'm gonna be the exception to the rule and just do my thing and not be hurt by any of this shit.
Yeah.
Which is usually folly. Almost, it is always folly to have this arrogant mentality about it. I mean, if you really saw, to me, the only outcome when you see shit to that level is non-engagement. It is to walk away.
Yeah. I'm doing it for my own.
I mean,
I'm doing it for my own safety. Like that's why I don't date. I'm protecting myself really, because to me, I'm scared. One that I'm scared I might lose control. That's my deepest fear. Me getting so angry and upset, like I said before, and I should never brought that shit up to the chick, because when I did say that shit, she was like, "Oh, so that's a pressure point." I'm like, why would you mention that? So if I get you angry enough, would you hit me? And she was like, so you mean no? It was no, because she was talking about like she like guys be little roughnecks, whatever. And she was like, so you mean tell me if I get you angry enough, you punch me right now? She said, if you hit me right now, I'd be turned on. I looked at her and I just sit on the phone. What the fuck? And she's like, what? I'm like, I'm not hitting a female on purpose, man. That's some foul, fucked up shit. Like, I'm not. First of all, I want to talk about the domestic violence shit, because I fucking hate when they spray that shit up in the media. But it's like, dude, it's like if I hit you right now and I go to jail, that shit ain't gonna be no fun for me. It ain't gonna end up well for you. You might end up in a coma, some shit like that. I said when I lose anger, when I lose control of my anger, I can't control myself. So for me, what you need to understand is I'm protecting myself. And I told her I isolate myself. I isolate and I protect myself, and I stay alone to myself, because 1 second I know 9 times out of 10, I know myself. I know me better. I know myself. But here's the thing. I say this, and man, I'm gonna play devil's advocate to this shit. If if I didn't learn from if I didn't learn from the situation, 14 years old, when I pushed the chick and she ended up breaking her damn leg, and the parents would sue my other parents, because I almost lost control. I lost control that day, and it literally got to the point where I was about to punch her. And I was like, man, I need to slow the shit down. And for me, I'm like, you know what? From this point on, I'm never going to engage in this shit, because one, this is a toxic situation, and two, if I continue to engage in this type of shit, I almost got expelled from the shit. Two, I got a bad rap that whole school year about being a woman beater, even though I just pushed her down. I just grabbed her by the arm, like, look, I don't need you hitting me right now, because you hitting me is gonna fucking cause me to fucking snap, and I don't want to do some shit I want to regretting. But the reason why I tell people all the time, the reason why I don't date, because my deepest fear is like, dude, women know your pressure points, man. Well, you shouldn't if you tell them your pressure points, but even if you don't tell them your pressure points, they'll say some foul fucked shit to you. Like for me, like I suffer from depression, and the female will be like, well, that's where your motherfucker, like that's why you the fucking depressed and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I just get triggered just like that. So for me, it's like me knowing my limits. I can't fucking engage in relationships, because to me, it's like for me, like, but here's the thing: the reason why I know myself is because I had years. To basically know myself betterly. But if I was in a relationship with another chick, say I'm 28 here, and I entered that relationship with that chick that was bone alley, and guess what happened? And I finally decided to fucking break down, I probably wouldn't have to think clever because I'll be too busy focusing on trying to make her fucking happy that I end up lose a part of me. And that's why I say I don't date either, because I feel like once I start dating, I lose a part of me that I could never get back when I enter a relationship. That's my biggest fear. I know a lot of people don't want to talk about that shit. Men don't want to talk about it, MGTOW or not. Like, look, that should be every man's deepest fear of losing yourself, losing who you are as a person, just to make the other person happy. And that's some scary shit, man.
well, yeah. I mean, even when a relationship goes good for a while, there's, I mean, it doesn't mean you won't wake up one day and be like, oh shit, who the fuck am I?
Yeah.
What have I done? Why have I made the decisions? Like the tendrils that you got with that woman are like can get so fucking intense. You can literally lose yourself. It's fucking weird because there used to be stories, poems, songs about this phenomenon, but it flipped it on this positive light. Like, oh wow, you guys are so into each other that you stop knowing whose personality begins and whose the other one starts and all that shit and whatever. Uh, I don't know how that was ever flipped as being a good thing. To me, that's I don't know. Maybe because we come from a generation which has far more importance on individuality. So the
Yeah.
idea of losing yourself
Yeah.
in the context of a relationship, I mean, you're not going to sell me on that shit.
And I was watching, I was watching of the show on Complex, the Everyday Struggle with DJ Academics and Joe Budden. I guess he dating some reality show chick. He talking about he pussy whipping, he madly in love. I mean, that's some scary shit, man. Like, I know a lot of guys condone that shit. Like, man, I'm pussy whip, nigga. That's not a good thing. That's a bad way to be living, bruh. Like, to me, I couldn't be doing no shit like that, bro. I'm sorry, man. Like, you so whipped to the point where she can do anything to you, and just like, and you will go with the shit because whatever reason, man. I'm sorry, man. I can't do that shit, dude. I'm sorry, man. I can't do that shit. That's some shit that, I mean, there's some dudes who encourage that type of behavior. I don't encourage it because, one, it's like, what happens when you take that sex away? That motherfucker go crazy and shit. What's the dude name? Like, I'm pretty sure, I'm glad we can talk now that we bring up dating relationships. The dude in Cleveland, the Steven dude. He
Mm-hmm.
kicked the dude over a chick. That's some crazy motherfucking shit, man. What the fuck?
Well, it was three things, but two of them, by his own admission, involve women. It was rejection from his mother, reaching out for help. It was rejection of his girlfriend after he lost a whole bunch of shit gambling. Right.
Damn.
So it was all three things all in one. So and the fucked up thing, what I was peeping game on is that, you know, he talked when he started talking about this stuff. He started talking about gambling in the front of it, and I was like, okay. So one, I mean, maybe he has a gambling problem, right? He's admitted he lost a bunch of shit due to some bad bets or whatever. And then two, I mean, if you are addicted to gambling, then being a simp is natural. That's par for the course because every time you fuck with a woman's a gamble, right?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking this bitch that he was with was probably just low down, dirty ass bitch, and he just thought he was gonna gamble and, you know, turn a hoe into a housewife kind of situation. Gamble didn't pay off, and it just fucking, you know, it blew a fuse in his brain.
Yeah,
And then he
man.
goes to mama, and mama ain't trying to hear that shit, ain't trying to support him in any way, ain't trying to, you know, and then boom, he snapped. Now, let me make it clear: these are not fucking justifications to go out and do
Yeah.
some fucked up shit like
Yeah.
shooting old, you know, brothers in the head on
Yeah.
fucking, you know, Facebook. I'm not saying that at all, but
Yeah.
we need to understand ourselves, understand the insight, right, and bring that back to the risk.
Yeah.
You know, because some of us, whether in MGTOW, in the manosphere, or just men in general, some of us are weaker than others. Some of us are have mental issues, anger issues, all shit like that. So if we avail ourselves, you know, to this female validation shit too much, you know, we start a process that can get out of control quickly for us because we haven't either learned the tools or the coping mechanisms to deal with that shit.
And that's why I
So
say,
I mean, this is a very, very important case study for a lot of shit, man. You know, I
yeah.
hope this. I, yeah, this is my.
And that's why that's why I tell people all the time, know your fucking self, man. Look, if you dating a chief, dating a female, and your girlfriend about to piss you the fuck off, and you about to do some foul, fuck the crazy shit, walk outside the house, jump out the window, do whatever the fuck you need to do, dude. Like, don't engage in the type of shit.
Yeah, but I mean, here's the thing. Like, here's the thing. It's not like we are not talking about in
Yeah,
many cases because I've seen it time and time and again.
yeah,
Like, this is why engagement for me would be a good thing because if I was it's just a little bit more angry, if I was a little bit more prone to violence, you know, it would be just another reason to have that non-engagement thing and not even enter the relationship in the first place.
yeah,
Because why even avail yourself? Because sometimes these bitches will you try to walk out like to walk out the location, apartment, home, whatever, to get away. You know, sometimes these bitches will follow you and
yeah,
fucking start, you know, dragging on your shirt and shit, holding you, talking shit, taunting you. Sometimes they'll fucking hit you. I mean, sometimes these like not all these bitches are like fucking pe- peaceful and calm and all that shit. Like
yeah,
once they trigger your anger, their anger set off, and they wanted to hit that physical level. Some of them actually fucking do. They savage, man. They don't give a fuck.
yeah.
No.
And that's why I say me getting in relationships, that shit dangerous for me, man. I'm rolling the dice if I do that shit because to me, I know I'm one bad fucking. I'm one bad day away from being in jail for punching a chick. And to me, I'm not condoning domestic violence. I don't hit women. I'm not doing that shit on purpose. I'm just saying is that I know a woman can rile me up to that point to say some foul fucked up shit to me.
You know what, man? There's no point for us to fucking virtue signal anymore about how we don't think it's right to hit women. I mean, because no matter what we say, we're gonna be called, you know, fucking rape apologist and fucking batterer apologist and shit anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would advise, man, just cut that shit out. I mean, nobody gives a fuck anyway. Like when it comes down to it, because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, a whole lot of bitches are hitting dudes and no consequences. Period. Period. Not a single. Sometimes the dude goes to jail for getting fucking hit and not fighting back. So I don't want to hear this. I mean, we don't have to virtue signal like I don't condone. I mean, even if we say both ways, I don't condone hitting anybody for no reason. I mean, obviously, if you're an adult and you know you have anger issues or not, I would assume you don't condone just going out and just, you know, acting stupid with everybody, just like starting fights and shit. Like that's kind of what an adult being about.
Yeah.
But as far as like, you know, specifically with women, nah, fuck that. Fuck that. We don't know what's happening in every household. We don't know what leads up to these domestic altercations. None of us are really there. We can just assume that 9 times out of 10, it's not unprovoked.
Yeah. And for me,
That's not an excuse anymore. You want to pull back the veil, or you want to, you know, pull back the clock 50 years. I still don't even think it's unprovoked. But I mean, if you're the type of bitch or the type of dude that ignores the red flags and picks up a violent person, and then you trigger that motherfucker or that bitch, I mean, what do you think was gonna happen?
yeah. Yeah, man. And the reason why I think this topic is so fucking important, going back to that Cleveland dude, like this the reason why we avoid relationships because of shit like this, man. Look, the mother didn't even give a fuck. The son was suicidal, and she said, "I don't give a fuck about you." Like that's some foul fucked up shit, man. And then the girlfriend, man. I'm talking about this type of shit, and people be like, and people want to talk shit about MGTOW. Well, you know what or not, MGTOW was saving lives, bro. Look, it's saving. It's stopping a whole bunch of. MGTOW was stopping a whole bunch of men going on got their mass shooting sprees and all kind of crazy shit. I look at the Elliot Rodger dude when he was talking about his son. He was a director and being the son of what's the director now? I forgot the name. And he was talking about girls not liking him, whatever. He decided to go into the fucking call it. He decided to kill himself and kill a couple women with him. I'm like, so this is what you want us to go back to? You want us to go that fucking crazy? Look, I have literally seen motherfucking men go fucking crazy if they don't get no pussy, bruh. Like that's some fucking scary shit, and that's a scary world to live in. It's like, wow, man, like you take sex away, these dudes don't know how to fucking act. Like, and that's why I fucking hate when these dudes be like, man, I'm pussy whipped and I'm in love. Nah, man, not look. They ain't love, motherfucker. That's lust, nigga. I don't give a fuck what you say. That shit is lust. There ain't no love. Like you in love with the sex. That's it. Take sex out of it. Would you even be interested in that person if sex was not even involved towards it? And that's some scary shit there right there, you know?
The part of the problem is that, I mean, how many centuries has our species went around with this fucking crazy ass idea of love, and we've put so much onto this shit.
Yeah.
It is so fucking packed, and everybody's got a slightly different variation on what this love shit is.
Yeah.
To me, love, like the feeling part of love, is one thing. I think it's highly overrated. I think you should double down on your own self love. But to me, I mean, if we want to talk about love, what about action? Love should be a motherfucking action. That's where real shit comes into, right? And this usually manifests itself, you know, better in hopefully better, not always, definitely not always, but like within families, with children and whatnot. But at this point, man, you can't actionize, or what is it? Make actionable love in the context of modern relationships. This is not possible anymore, man. And who's responsible? And like even to this day, to do most of the action when it comes to facilitating a relationship, it's men.
Yeah.
So if we fail, like we don't get a breather from that shit. Like we're asked and charged with the responsibility of carrying the relationship. And if we fuck up, if it's our fault. If they fuck up, it's still our fault.
Yeah.
I mean, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and
So
that's the reason why. That's the reason why I don't condone dating either. Because to me, it's like a fucking job. It's like a fucking job. Like it's like instead of you getting up to work, getting the check, you gotta fucking take this woman out. You gotta tell jokes and think about like you were saying before. Like you can be like my personality. I'm a dude. Like I sit down. I'm mostly at the crib most of the time. I get out a lot. I get out from time to time, but I only get out if I fucking feel like it. But like there's times for me if just I can imagine me having a girlfriend, girl be like, you boring as hell. Like all you do is this every damn day, and she's like, we need to do this, we need to do that. I'm like, oh my god, leave me the fuck alone, man. Damn. It's like, and that's my thing. I always tell people all the fucking time. It's like it's never enough. Like I was watching I was reading Bill Burr before he got married and shit, but he was talking to this dude. He wrote to the show. He's like, it's never enough for women, and I agree 100%. It's never enough. No matter what you do for a woman, it's never going to be fucking enough. It's never going to be one of those things where, never mind the fact you can take a chick out. What every week you can take a chick out to dinner or whatever. Y'all go to the movie, whatever. She gonna be like, we ain't doing nothing different. Never mind the fact that you took the chick out took 2 times out for the previous week out. Y'all went to the movies, y'all went bowling, y'all went shopping, whatever, so on. So y'all did things as a couple, and it's like fucking maintenance. It's like maintenance on a goddamn car. Like I compare getting a girlfriend to like a car. Like it's constantly fucking maintenance. You gotta put oil in that shit. You gotta change the gas. You gotta keep gas in it. You gotta put oil in. Gotta keep oil in the car. You gotta make sure the rotor's fixed. Make sure the brakes are not fucked up. It's like, god damn it, do all this just to get some ass or just to get just to get some female validation? Fuck this shit. It's not worth it, man. Like I don't know why guys fucking just make this shit the whole. I don't know why guys make this the whole holy grail of once you get this shit, oh my god, you gonna fucking be on king on top of the world. It's like when guys brag about losing their virginity. Yeah, I got some pussy. Yeah, nigga, but who gives a fuck? Like what was? It's about what you do the next day that really don't fucking that matters, dog. You just fuck the chick. That's what
I
it is.
mean,
Go ahead.
nothing adds up, man. Fucking no compliment and nothing that a bitch can wolf in your ear
Yeah,
makes sense. Like I mean, look at all the different shit, you know, that they could possibly say to get on air. Like, oh, you make me feel so safe when I'm around you. Oh, I've never met anybody where I connected and I can talk to you so freely. Like that's another big one with bitches always be talking about. What else? I mean, you know, not to get too deep in it, just like, oh my god, you know, you fuck me right. I love how you fuck me proper. I mean, you know, a variety of that kind of shit. I mean, none of these things, if they can all say this shit and still fuck you over, which if you don't check the relationship or if you don't end it first, they will, right? So all this shit never pans out anyway. And like this is not just from my experiences. This is aggregate from many men and females fucking own mouths, right?
yeah,
This is aggregated information.
yeah.
I mean, university study is not going to fucking go out straight up and be like, oh, let's do a study and see if women will honestly admit how many fucking times they con, manipulate, or lie in the context of a relationship. I wonder how many are going to be honest. I bet you that's something we can quantify in a statistic.
But
Fuck out of here. If they're liars, they ain't going to give. What the fuck? Even if it's anonymous, if this bitch has to be, if it's a face-on-face survey, she ain't going to be honest. And 9 times out of 10, the bitch is still going to lie, even if it's like a checkbox she marks on a fucking computer screen. The bitch is still going to be honest. You know why? Because half of these bitches are dishonest with themselves first. They've
yeah,
got all kind of delusions and shit. They
yeah.
don't even know what the fuck honesty is. So
I mean, that's the tricky part. Like I said before, you sit there and you think about, like, you sit there, you think about all this time, like you think about, like I talk about this, and the biggest trick, I'm pushing you guys to check and relate to this shit. Guys, have you ever like been fucking a chick and you know you ask the chick after sex and she's like, you was the best, you was the best, she tells you you was the best she ever had, but really she just tell you that shit to make it big up your ego, and really she telling you it was another dude that she done smashed the previous week that really was her best she ever had. And it's like every guy fucking feel this, why I say sex is fucking overrated. When guys, like, I realized sex was overrated where it was like the second time I had sex, and this was the my story. I told you the story, Emmy, about that story, but like the chick, she was like she said I'm the best she ever had. And like, I'm the blue pill dude. I'm not the blue pill, I'm the red pills. I'm hip to that shit. Like, you just saying that shit just because whatever, fuck whatever. And it's like, come on, man. I'm not dumb enough to fall for that shit. And if you would do, you fall for that shit. Even guys out there talking about, man, my dick ain't proper, man. I have a bitch, you know,
It don't even make no difference whether it's true or not. I mean, if you field enough women, you'll come across the type of woman who will candidly talk about her ex shit, you know, and all kind of details. She'd be like, "Oh my god, this one dude, he's the best fuck I ever had," right? To you, and then guess what she's about to do? She's about to put your dick in her mouth. She ain't got no kind of loyalty. She don't give a fuck. So I mean, bitches don't give a fuck.
They sure don't.
Like, so whether it's true or not, it's irrelevant. The outcome
Yeah.
is the same. The outcome is your performance with this bitch to make her come or whatever will not have an effect on the outcome of loyalty, connection, or intimacy. So what's the point there?
And it just, and that's when I realized when sex was so fucking overrated. Because the first time I had it, it was kind of like, okay, this is it. Kind of like I was watching the old stream with Stay Free Mental with Victor on there, and he was talking about like his sister talking to his sister. So he was talking about his sister pressing him about girlfriends. He was like, he stuck his dick in the bitch, and he's like, this is it. Like, this is what fucking everybody talks about. Like, and kind of, I had that same moment Victor had. It's like, what the fuck? This is what everybody talks about. This is the whole holy grail. This is the whole kingdom to manhood. Like, wow, this is some overrated ass shit. Like,
Yo,
I
man,
learned.
even when it's super fucking dope, even when it's like, you know,
Yeah,
you forget, like, I mean, the super dope shit usually has the same kind of fucking uh
yeah,
symptoms, right? And that's your
yeah,
head gets hot. You don't think with language anymore. You're on that animal mode shit, which can be real. I guess it's like a high. Basically, is a high.
yeah,
You know what I mean? You feel on top of the world. I mean, you're
yeah,
getting your blood you're getting your blood, you're pumping. You know, you're exercising in a way. So you got all that good shit happening, all the chemicals that entail with that, right? I mean, maybe got some eye contact, maybe got some like fuzzy shit happening with like intimacy. You think, I mean, you think it might be some sort of a romance fucking version of fucking making love. I mean, no matter which way you slice it, it's all fleeting. That shit don't last
yeah.
forever. These are moments in time, right? Little tiny
No,
moments. Most of the time, it's just gonna be you and a bitch talking or eating or shitting or just doing regular human shit. So why do we put so much focus on this one little aspect of our fucking lives? It don't really amount to much at the end of the fucking lifetime, man.
I know, man. It's like, and that's what I'm trying to say when I see guys brag about how many bitches they fuck. Like, dude, you don't feel. I got no. Even funny. This is flat out me being honest, dude. I got no validation after I had sex. I didn't feel valid. I didn't feel like I didn't feel like I was on top of the world. I'm like, this shit is overrated, dog. Like, this shit is mad fucking overrated. And like the reason I relate sex to dating is the same thing. Like, dating women is overrated, bro. Like, once you get over the fact, like, it's like I talk about this all the time. Like, think about when a man and woman first start dating, right? I don't believe in that word love, but the man thinks he's madly in love, and she thinks he thinks she's in love. He thinks she's in love with him, and like the whole point, he's sitting there, he ain't getting no ass. He doing all this simping shit. He holding hands. He cuffing the broad out in the public and all this other silly shit. It's like you see this dude and you be like, man, this dude doing all this shit. You just do this dude, and he ain't doing it because he genuinely care about the person. He doing it because he want to get the ass. And I notice that every time once a man wants a relationship, and it's the truth. It's like what Patricia Mills said. Once a man get the ass, all that shit he was doing before, he was picking you up on time. He picked your terrible. He picked your fucked up. He picked your mother who was a bitch the whole entire time from the airport and shit like that. He ain't doing that shit no more. After he hit that shit, he gonna treat you like everybody else is. Cause I guess what he said his whole goal was to get the ass, and that's it. And that's the reason why I say I don't understand even with that mentality to the point where you date a chick for the first 6 months just to get ass, and then once you get the ass, what's next? It's like this whole idea is like I give you a promise. I'm
Oh
talking.
well, once you get the ass, is that you got to own the ass. You got to fucking make her to make sure she ain't giving it to nobody else. That's the next part.
Yeah,
That's
it
it.
is like yeah. and it's like the whole thing it's like it's basically like this. It's basically you know I compare get guys to sit there they date chase for the first 6 months and they just trying to get the ass. It's like buying a brand new car, man. You know, people just, it's like you can't be that dumb and naive when you go to the car dealership, you buy the car. You can't be that dumb person when you just go to the car dealership and be like, I want to buy this 2017 Chevrolet Equinox, and the car dealership look at you and you're like, well, I want to buy this brand new car. You don't ask them how many miles on this thing, how many miles per gallon does it get. You ain't asking none of this shit. You just looking at this shit. Man, this shit look good. You drive this shit off a fucking lot. They tell you paying out the wazoo with gas and shit. The fucking off the fucking you I don't know you get how many miles per gallon gas and shit like that. The miles on that bitch is kind of high as fuck. Like the engine all fucked up and all kinds of, it's leaking oil and all the kind of crazy shit. And you like, why didn't you tell me that? Because you didn't ask the questions when you brought the car. You just looked at the car. It's like I think, man,
Yeah, you got sprung just by the looks of the car. Like, man, you know how, the cheapest part of a car in many cases, especially if it's a high end car, man, it's the paint job. You can do all kind of cool shit with the paint job and the decals and this that and all this superficial shit. But what's up with that motor? You know what I
yeah,
mean? What's up with the transmission? Like
yeah,
all that shit's. I mean, you open up the hood, or if you ain't even trying to open up the hood, if you just type motherfucker to do stupid shit, not even look at what you eating, open up the hood and like fucking don't look. That shit could be all rust.
yeah.
I mean, come on
And
now,
it's like
fucking have some.
I think I think guys when they start dating girls, they treat it like a brand new car. They just look at the outside, they don't see the inside. And like, well, the maintenance that come with this shit, like getting a girlfriend is like having a goddamn car. It's a fucking maintenance. You gotta put oil in that shit. You gotta keep oil. You gotta make sure gas isn't running. You gotta pay your
Oh, don't
insurance.
don't don't forget about the state shit. So it's not just the
Yeah,
maintenance of the car, right? Just to operate, you
damn.
got to have insurance. You better have insurance to drive that car legally. You better register that bitch once a year
Yep.
legally, right? You got to keep them tags up to date legally.
You
Like
got past the
that
you
is
got
kind of like
past the
having a bitch. You got to do. I mean, like the more you engage with the bitch, especially on that marriage level, or even the accidental marriage, common law shit, you have to do legal fucking things. You are binded by the bitch now, just like you're binded with the car. If you want to use the car, you better pay, and you better
Yep.
be, up on your p's and q's with that shit. So
Yeah, and that's why I say you can't sit there. For me, when I'm looking at a female, you look good and everything. I just look at I just look at the fucking maintenance that come with that shit. I'm like, man, look, I ain't got the energy to fuck with time and energy to be fucking with you like that on a personal level. Like, I ain't got time for that shit, man. Like, I look at women like running a car. I think a lot of men, and I think these blue pill dudes. And you know what? I'm gonna put myself in the mind of a blue pill dude. These blue pill dudes, when they see a woman, they see how fine a girl is. Man, she fine as fuck. Never mind the fact that she got high maintenance. She may got unrealistic standards. She may got like the whole thing. When you look at a high maintenance chick, I talk about like for me, if I ever won the lottery or shit like that, like high maintenance bitches, bro. High maintenance bitches are the fucking worst. I have a friend of mine. His girlfriend, he makes pretty good money, whatever. So he works like 4 to 5 jobs, whatever, and like he makes real good money. And his girlfriend is high fucking maintenance, bro. She always on that high end shit. She gotta have the latest purse, the latest high end shoe. I'm like, dude, you need to. His girlfriend, she cleans his bank account. She cleans him out every fucking time. Every time he's getting that check, he's spending money on her. I said, dude, when that girl leave, you think about all that money you spent. He told me flat out he spent a total of $5,000 on that girl right now, and he been dating her for 4 years. I'm like, that's a lot of money we spend on one person, man. God damn it, man. Like, golly, what the fuck? $5,000 on one person for 4 years. That's some crazy shit, man. And he was like, I love her though. I'm like, you know what, man? You need to. I don't know, man. I don't even try to talk to him anymore because he's so blue pill. He's like, I'm in love with her. I'm like, you know what, man? You gonna have to learn the hard way, man. I might stay in free mental. I just gave up, man. I'm done trying to help these guys out because these dudes they ain't gonna learn the hard way. Like he's so blue pill, like he just don't fucking get it. I said, dude, this is a fucking car right now, man. Like to my the pro there's more pro the pros outweigh more the pros outweigh the cons. The cons outweigh the pros. God damn it, you spending more mileage. It's like buying yeah. I'll probably go. What time is it?
well, we're gonna be at different times for sure. It's 7:20 where I'm at. So
I'm gonna let me end it at 9:40. We can always do part two of this. I just want to do a short stream. I just want to do a short stream with you, and we can add I'll try to add more guests onto it as well because I want.
Yo, man, I mean, even if it's just a YouTube shit, just with the pure focus on hip hop shit, let's do that.
Yeah.
That'll get that. See, I gotta be honest with you, man. Like, not like the streaming shit's cool. I mean, and basically a lot of this shit, y'all MGTOW motherfuckers have befriended me in various capacities, and it's been awesome, man. There's not enough that I can say about it.
Yeah.
However,
yeah,
the dark side of that shit is that on the back end, and no filter, you're not aware of any of this shit, which is fine. You don't even need to be aware. You just keep doing your thing. But man, there's so much fuckery on the back end of shit that I'm losing a little bit of passion when it comes to shit.
Hip hop,
right? So I need to double up by doing what I know. I want to bring the red pill and the hip hop shit together.
Yeah.
And if I could do that with any people from the MGTOW end, cool, let's do it. If not, I'll still pop in and do streams and make videos and shit from time to time. But yeah.
We got to do it sometime next week. I don't know when you. We're gonna schedule it. We're gonna name it something different though. We ain't gonna just put Mental in front of it. We're gonna put proper red pill in front of it or something like that, whatever. But like, we need to get on top of it. We really need to discuss that because I've listened to a lot. I've been hearing a lot of simp ass shit on radio lately. I don't listen to the radio like that, but I've been listening to a lot. I've been hearing a lot of simping songs and shit. And I ain't telling you, man. I've been fucking steamed the fuck up listening to this type of shit, man. It's like I don't know what hip hop it is, man. Between this mumble rap bullshit and the other shit that go on, I don't know. I've been out with a lot of things, man. I just been going fucking mad, fucking crazy. And you know what? We got to get Misanthropic one. Do you have Misanthropic add to your list?
Yeah, man. I try to reach out with him. I don't know what happened. Last thing I could tell was I think he got caught up. I don't know directly or indirectly with that whole list that them crazy bitches came up with for all the Black Manosphere cats. Because sometimes he speaks upon MGTOW in a real sympathetic way, or in an understanding way. He speaks about Immore shit, Black Manosphere issue shit, all that. I don't know how he got caught up in it, but anyway, like in the last couple of videos, he mentioned being kind of caught up in it. He mentioned doing, hey, I support y'all. Keep just fucking, freedom of speech. Keep talking what you want. Fuck these bitches. He was on that level.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of dropped out for a while. So I'm not sure what's happening with Homeboy. He would be dope, man. When it comes to hip hop, both old and new, that motherfucker is like expert of experts.
I think me and Mrs. Robert will fucking bounce off each other because I fuck with 90s hip hop, bro. I don't fuck with this new age shit, dog. I can't fuck with it, dog. Like I've been fucking pissed off like this Drake shit, the simp shit, the simping shit he being on, sipping from Rihanna and shit like that. I can't, and that's why I say, ever since I took that red pill, bro, not just dating relationships, but like listen to the hip hop music. Like even J. Cole with that folding clothes song, I'm like, bro, you reaching with that shit right there, dog. That's some bullshit right there. But J. Cole, my favorite artist. I fuck with J. Cole. I fuck with Kendrick heavy. But let's like even some of my favorite artists that got some songs like, bro, you reaching with them songs there, dude. But it's still like my thing has always been about we gonna have a discussion. We're gonna we'll discuss that next week. We're really gonna have to go in depth to talk about it. But like we really gonna talk about that because I've really been wanting to rant. I've been wanting to do a rant about mumble rap for a long fucking time, and I think I ain't gonna do it on this topic because I'll be rambling for goddamn days about that shit. But me and you, Mr. Topic One, we gotta set that shit up, man. I gotta fucking send him. I gotta add him to my list, bro, because I've been fucking steamed the fuck up, man. Like the whole thing with it was some shit. It was some bullshit rapper. It was some bullshit rapper. Doing he did some shit. It was something that pissed me the fuck off. I'm like, you know what? Fuck this new age hip hop, man. Look, I'm like you, MA, man. I'm about the new old shit, man. Fuck these new shit. Fuck this new shit, dude. For real, dude.
I mean, you can't stay like current year, fucking current decade for that matter. There's no way in hell you're gonna stay on top or even close to top if you ain't simping, like sonically simping. You gotta sonically simp because the majority of concert goers or people that actually spend money on fucking music are bitches.
Yeah.
And it's always been like that. Even in the beginning of hip hop, it's been like that, right? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, from the jump, you had the like. I mean, you gotta understand like all the different sources, what created the shit. You have a lot of simp fucking influence, a blue pill shit feeding into it. So it's always gonna be there. And at the end of the day, it is part of fucking hip hop, simping.
Yeah.
I don't. It's not the complete story though, and that's where the interesting shit comes into play.
And that's why
I think,
like I fuck with LL Cool J on the level because I feel like that the battle between him and Cannabis, some legendary hip hop shit. Only true hip hop heads know that shit I'm talking about. That battle was fucking
yeah,
legendary. That's some dope shit. But like that I Need Love song, I fucking hate that song, bro. I hate that. I despise that song. They played that shit on the radio the other day. I was in the car, my mom. I hate that fucking song. I'm like, man, really? I have to listen to this shit. God damn it, man. They play that song every time, man. What the hell?
but the things that I find parallels in when it comes to hip hop culture and some aspects of MGTOW is that when you look at them in a very objective way, they both organically provided this platform of different kind of motherfuckers coming from different walks of life and building and
Yeah.
creating and networking and all these things like community building, culture fucking building type shit, right? Uh, and I find that interesting, those parallels. And I've got a lot of experience on the hip hop side on how a lot of that shit went south. And so when my spidey senses go off on the MGTOW side, it's not coming from paranoia. It's coming from the writing on the wall. I'm seeing the same shit happen to like my golden era hip hop. You know, I'm seeing the same thing happen to MGTOW that I saw to my golden era hip hop shit.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So the two are fucking, they have a lot in common in a lot of different ways, depending on how you want to flip it.
Yeah.
And in some ways, they have absolutely nothing in common. I
I
mean,
mean,
like Drake
yeah, but
just as an artist himself, that motherfucker ain't MGTOW. I don't even give a fuck if he's got a couple of Red Pill songs. That motherfucker ain't MGTOW. He ain't SPI. He ain't Edmore. He ain't nothing. He's just
Drake.
some rap. He's just some cornball Canadian kid that learned how to rhyme all right and usually can afford really dope ass producers. That's what Drake is.
Yeah,
So.
and the thing is for me, going back to dating relationships, you even kind of see it with T.I. when he did that "Whatever You Like" song, like whatever you can have, whatever you like. I'm like, this is Gotta Sit You 101, goddamn it! Like, goddamn, I like that song when I was a blue pill, but now that I'm red pill, I'm like, man, damn it, why?
What's the point of even? Well, here's the thing. This is where you can tell a lot about the character of a man because it's all about intention. And the same thing happened back in the day with like MCs coming up. It's like, are you trying to get in this shit for money? And why do you need the money? Is it because you're trying to take care of yourself, you and yours? Or is it because you're trying to get access to bitches?
That's what it is.
How desperate are you for bitches? Do you have no game where you could just get a bitch from your words alone? Or do you need like clothes and style? You got to do all this. You got to put all this extra shit on it. So like there was this subtle conversation between like the roughnecks and the simps and the pimps and the players and all these different kind of motherfuckers were having this interesting back and forth conversation about all the shit we now have very fleshed out ideas and conversations about. Like this shit was being played out sonically on the corner with like fucking, you know, battle rhymes and ciphers and shit like that. A lot, man, hip hop gave us a lot of the red pills that like, and we just thought they came out of nowhere. That shit ain't true. It presented a lot of red pill shit in a very interesting way for a lot of cats. And I'll leave it at that. So
And then that shit got took over, man. It became fucking pop rap, whatever the fuck this shit is. Man, I don't know, man.
but we can't sleep. Like there's a whole underground. There's a lot of motherfucking dope artists out there.
I mean, but like
they're never gonna go away. You know what I mean? They're never gonna go away.
But there is a lot of dope artists out there I fuck with on some underground shit. Like I fuck with Talib Kweli still heavily. I still fuck with him. I fuck with Arrested Development. I fuck with a lot of artists that's not even mainstream. So like Kendrick and Cole is my main two top mainstream artists. But the rest of them, I just can't fuck with them, man. I try to get into fucking what's the dude named Young Thug, but that dude, he's so fucking feminine. That dude right there, that dude take the cake, man, with gimmicks and all that shit, wearing dresses and shit and changing his name and calling another grown man Bay and shit. I'm like, you know what, man, this is suspect ass behavior. But you don't piss me off even more with that shit. There's women who listen to it. Like, I have a cousin, 14 years old right now. His name's CJ. I'm not gonna say his last name, but he listened to Young Thug. He's like, man, I fuck with Young Thug heavy. I'm like, dude, this dude is a fucking cross-dressing faggot, and this dude try to act like he like females, but deep down inside he like dudes. Like, I'm sorry, man. Like, I can't listen to if a dude. Look, I'm sorry, man. If you wearing a fucking dress, bro, I can't take you seriously, man. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. Between him and Jaden Smith, I can't fucking stand them motherfuckers with a passion, man. And Kanye West, I used to respect Kanye West before he got on that fucking high-end fashion bullshit they on now. I'm like, dude, you lost me for I fuck with Kanye, the college dropout Kanye West, when he was actually an artist, and he didn't give a fuck about fucking popularity. He just said what the fuck was on his mind and got away with the shit. But now he on that simple shit. I'm like, you know what, Kanye, man, fuck you, and fuck your Yeezy too, nigga. I ain't got time for that shit, dude.
Yeah, no, I feel you, man. I don't know, but the interesting thing about it is that we can always go back. Some of that shit, it's just kind of like what we're building right here in MGTOW. Some of us realize it, some of us don't. At a certain point, man, we got to do like a private hangout so I can tell you how to, to make, download certain, these streams so you can keep them on your end. Like, everybody should be prepared. Like, YouTube might go away, shit might change up, but you know what? We can re-release a lot of these, streams or videos in different ways down the line, so that future cats can have access to them, just like we have access to, like,
Yeah.
Old school music, of all kind of old school.
I'll start archiving a lot of shit though on my thing. I'm gonna have to archive my laptop. Fucking my sound on my laptop. I do my comic. I work my comics on. The sound went on that shit. I got the fucking Geek Squad to fucking fix the fucking problem. That shit pissed me the fuck off today. But like, yeah, I'm gonna archive some of these live streams, bro, because I got a feeling with my channel growing up, because I just got 144 subs, man. Shout out to my subscribers out there, man. You guys fuck with me, man. You guys comment. You be actively involved. It's cool. But like, man, I got a feeling I'm on the rise here, man. And to be honest with you, I said I wanted to do this channel. I just wanted to start off small. But the more I do it, because I'm used to it now, I'm used to the streaming shit now. Man, I got a fucking feeling I'm on the fucking rise, dude. And the thing is, I guess no filter. I thought about changing my logo, but I was like, nah, man, I'm just gonna keep the logo the way it is, and I probably gonna start being more different. But I will say this, because I want to end the stream not at 9:04. I got 5 more minutes to go with the stream, but like, I want to say this, man, because this is not about you, MA. This is basically, I got a comment. And basically, I want to say this to this dude, because this dude really pissed me the fuck off. And I think it was the Vice fuck you argument. You saw that stream?
I watched part of the Vice shit, but I haven't completed it yet. So.
Yeah, the Vice fuck you thing, and I was really pissed the fuck off. I got halfway to that shit and just started snapping on that shit, because that shit pissed me the fuck off. This shit thoroughly pissed me the fuck off. It was therapy for me to read it, because it felt good. I'm like, I'm gonna read more articles more often, because that shit felt genuine, authentic. I didn't want to write this shit down because it would have been fucking, it wouldn't have been authentic. But it was a dude. It was some ass. I muted this motherfucker. I refused to engage in this motherfucker. His name was Mike Peterson. He had like this purple thing. He didn't have no icon or anything, and he was like, he said some shit about, I was on an online retard who I need to write my thoughts down. And I want to say this shit, man. You know what, man? I ain't Stardust, I ain't Barbarossa, I ain't Turd Finger Monkey, no this to those guys, but I ain't no intellectual. I ain't got no degree in fucking psychology and shit. I got a fucking story just like everybody else is. And MA does, everybody else does. Stand Free Mental, I got one too. It's like, and you know what? Fuck you to these people. And this is my problem with MGTOW, man. I love MGTOW, but there's members of MGTOW, just some cynical, pompous assholes. For some reason, they feel they watch Stardust Barbarossa videos and they be like, man, you need to write your thoughts down. I'm like, motherfucker, it's called No Filter, dude. Like, you come to somebody's channel called No Filter, which means I'm gonna fucking ramble and rant. I'm gonna fucking rant and rave. I'm gonna go off topic a lot of times, like Staying Free does. Like, that's why I fucking Staying Free, because he don't give a fuck. He go the fuck off. He goes off topic. He comes right back. I'm like, yo, I like those MGTOW that just genuine with this shit. Like I'm authentic with my shit. Like that's why I call myself No Filter, because I'm authentic with my shit. I'm not trying to fucking win a PhD in psychology and trying to fucking figure the brain cells. I ain't got time for that shit, man. Look,
You know,
my
people don't peep game. Like they assume that sometimes people just are trying to come up with clever names and it don't mean nothing. But
yeah,
I mean, in my like I come up with the names the same way I came up with song titles and names when I was in hip hop.
yeah.
So I'm guessing you have a similar vibe. You know, it's kind of like it's right out there. Hey, I got no filter. It's simple, but it's gonna tell you something about what you're gonna get. My shit too. I get to be bipolar. I get if as long as I'm consistently bipolar, I'm good shit.
Yeah.
If I'm consistently fucking either misanthropic or altruist, I'm all good.
Yeah.
I don't owe nobody a goddamn thing.
I
You know
mean,
what I mean? So
and that's why I'm saying that's why a lot of these be. That's why I understand why some people, like some MGTOW members, don't want to do content, because you got jackass pieces like Mike Peterson, that dumbass comment, dumbass hole, who want to leave dumbass comment probably retarded. Dude, I don't see you fucking doing videos. I don't see you doing content. I don't see you fucking have a following. But just because you don't fuck with my shit, you ain't gotta fuck with. You ain't gotta watch. The channel's called No Filter. I go off topic a fucking lot on my fucking streams. But if you've been watching me for the moments I have this channel up here, like it's been there for a while. I've been doing this shit for a while. I've been like this ever since I first started streaming on this channel. So like you need to fucking understand that. And I'm so fucking sick and tired of everybody gotta try to be a fucking psychiatrist. Like, look, I'm not a fucking doctor, motherfucker. I'm a dude that's MGTOW, that's going my own fucking way. It's an ideology, motherfucker. And my biggest fear for MGTOW, and I really hope MGTOW don't hit mainstream, but when that Vice article pissed me the fuck off, I'm like, with this shit, there's gonna be a lot of motherfucking MGTOW dudes who, for some reason, they're gonna take this shit, they're gonna try to fucking be dark starters with this shit. Look, my advice of any content creator fight in this fucking stream, be your fucking self, man. Stop trying to be who you listen to. Like, here's the thing. I'm not Stardust. I'm not Bob Barbarossa. I'm not Turflinger Monkey. I watch Turflinger Monkey. I think he's a very good, intelligent guy. But I'm not none of those guys. I call myself No Filter because, one, I rant and rave. I fucking rant. If I write shit down, here's the thing. You know, this thing about me, man. I don't write shit down. A lot of the times I try to write shit down, and if I write it down, I end up going off topic anyway. So I'm like staying free. Like, dude, I don't give a fuck about I don't give a fuck about this shit. If you relate to it, you don't relate to it. That's why I try to say, when I first came up on the scene and I came across Stand Free MGTOW channel. This will be in this train now, but when I first came across Stand Free MGTOW channel, I fuck with it. Like, I don't know what it was. It just, this dude, he had a fucking vibe I can literally fuck with. Like, he just, like his fucking name says, Staying Free Mental. He does what he wants to do, and he don't give a fuck about it. He ain't in it for the subs. I'm not in it for the likes. Yes, I mean, I'm glad this channel is successful, but to me, I'm not in it for the fucking business to make money off this channel. I just want to fucking tell my fucking story. You can relate to it, fine. And if you're cool, man. But like, yeah, I just want to say fuck you to Mike Peterson and, kiss my ass, dude, because I ain't got time for that shit, man. For real, dude.